He's a douche.
I mean, of course he's a douche. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. He probably fucked everybody.
Yeah, you're right.
He's huge. He's strong.
He's got his own TV show.
Frat bro.
He does his own thing.
And his brother plays for us. He's cool.
Yeah, I love fucking Jason.
Yeah, imagine how much milk they used to drink growing up.
Dude,
just gallons of milk in the house.
They had their own fucking cows. Like, it was insane. They just every morning walk outside just...
You ready?
Yes. You guys sound loud.
I'll turn the shit down, man.
Sound loud?
Thanks. I appreciate that. Sound loud. Welcome to the Garage with Evan and Friends. Follow us on Instagram on Podcast Garage. Follow us on all of your... Bert's already laughing. Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms, whatever you listen to, however you get it. YouTube, guys, we're a little behind on the videos. We're still new at this. We're getting them. Watch the YouTube videos because that's where it's at. The video's where it's at.
Bert just got over his New Year's Eve hangover, so he'll probably be getting these videos up now.
Dan, you are correct, but I didn't even introduce you yet.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody even knows you're freaking here.
Who's that talking?
Nobody even freaking knows you're here yet, okay? To my left.
That was my fault. I should have muted everyone.
You should have. God darn it. You son of a bitch. To my left, as always, it hasn't been a year yet. Rookie producer of the year, Ryan Rickus.
Oh, yeah, we're doing clapping now. That's right.
Now, this is our first time ever doing a back-to-back episode. This is part Dukes. So that means directly across from me, Miss Lauren Kern's back in the house. We just couldn't get enough. The crowd spoke, the fans spoke. We just couldn't get enough.
So many people.
And I had
millions.
Millions,
yeah, really.
dude. I mean, people were just like, "Yo, who's that chick? Oh my god." She's like, so conspiracy.
She knows so much.
She's like,
she's so organized with her papers.
That binder and the highlighter, bro. Jeez. So I had to bring him back up. He ditched us last time, but he's here. We don't care about the past. Dan, the conspiracy man, is in the house.
How you doing, everybody? We're ready to go tonight.
What?
Nobody for Dan?
Yeah,
nobody
what the fuck?
Dan?
Where's my applause?
Episode 16, Dan was? 17? 20?
Something like that.
Something like that. Mid-range.
The best one. Just look for the one with the most views. That's mine.
So, before we get back into where we left off, which was probably our most serious podcast and was lovely, there's a couple things we just have to run through because we just have to. I would like to start off with the double doink, everybody. The double doink.
Got to.
So, as us all being Eagles fans and from the tri-state area is not that. I just meant South Jersey, Philly area.
Yeah. Tri-state area.
Yeah, but isn't that like Delaware? Whatever.
Right, they're fans too.
I guess. So the Eagles beat the Bears in probably one of the most dramatic games I've ever watched as a fan.
And that's what I was saying. It's hard to remember and like separate yourself from being a fan and saying that's a good game because they won versus that's a good game because it actually was a good game. It was 4th down on the 1 with a fucking minute left when they scored. Then they had the 2-point conversion where they might have got it in. I'm not sure.
That's what like Barkley did the week before.
But
yeah, I thought he got in, but
and then there's a chance for a last-second field goal. Like, that's a pretty good ending to a game.
Dude, when we scored on 4th down, I texted both of you guys because I was like, game over, we just won. And then like I realized, I was like, shit, there's 50 seconds left. And they only...
Did some math, and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. And they only needed a field goal. So then I was like, shit, my pants the whole time. And then they returned the kick to like the 40. I was like, fuck, all right, we lost. Like, I thought the game was over the other way.
The next pass, Trubisky throws it literally to like the 30. I was like, oh my God, we are done.
What confused me is that...
In 2 plays.
Nagy didn't call a timeout on that 1st and goal because it was first down. Right. There was no need for them to. They weren't going to run out of time because it was first down and goal. Time. You were just going to. You had 4 plays no matter what, and he let it go. And I'm sitting there like, why aren't they calling timeout? And then the announcers were like, why aren't they calling timeout? And I was like, I know. I should be an announcer.
I just said that.
Chris Collinsworth sucks dick, dude.
I fucking hate him.
Al Michaels is such a G, and Chris Collinsworth, I'm just like, I used to like him.
He's just
back in the day when he did Ripley's Believe It or Not. I think that was him. I don't know. He did something stupid. But Guinness Book of World Records.
That was Dean Cain.
Yeah, Shout out to Dean Cain.
No, it wasn't actually.
Yeah, no, maybe he did Guinness Book of World Records. He did something. But
fucking Dean.
Anyway,
Cain?
so they called the timeout to ice Cody Parkey. Poor Cody Parkey.
Oh
I know. That was awesome, but I was just like, oh my God.
I don't feel bad, but it definitely sucks. So we ice him, and he blasts that first field goal. Like,
right, but hold on. Back to Collingsworth. I specifically texted one of my friends about what he said because sometimes he
you have other friends than me. I'm so confused.
You don't.
What are you talking about, dude? Family friend.
Coworker.
He just kind of makes his own storyline sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, because he's not paying attention.
Exactly. Like he said, in the third quarter, Maddox tried to jump a route to get a pick in the third quarter, and he missed it. And there, Collingsworth was like, "Yeah, Maddox there trying to jump the route, looking for the game-ending interception." And I was like, "It's the third quarter. It's not even close to the game. If that ended the game, then that's a hell.
It's a real fucking thing."
He played what wide receiver,
wide
right?
receiver,
he probably
running back,
hits.
wide receiver, something like that.
He needs a tall glass of drink.
So,
that.
like I was saying, I thought the game was over, especially after they got the ball down to our 35.
Everybody did as an Eagles fan.
But then I saw fucking Cody Parkey walk out, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I didn't know he hit the upright so much.
I knew he wasn't going to make it. I don't know what it was. I saw his stupid face, and I just remembered
that little Christian white face.
Yeah, I was just like, "All right, game over."
Was he gonna move his mic?
Yeah, pull your shit over.
Up here?
I mean, you were just.
Hey, do me
you
a
were
favor.
there, and then
hey, dude,
you were just talking.
Suck the mic.
Suck that mic.
Yo, dude, suck the mic, huh?
You can move it wherever you want it to go.
Yeah.
It's on a boom arm.
Yeah.
These expensive. These expensive boom arms. What were they? 85 a piece.
Yo, just suck
like
the mic, huh?
My shorts are stretching right now.
Come on, man. Them Ferris Buellers. Yeah. So either way, dude, he hit that post. Doink. Comes down. I thought it bounced in. I was like, of course it did. Doink. Out.
Right, and that made it even better. That it's like, yeah, they won. No, they didn't. Yeah, they won. You know what I mean? Like, because you saw it hit the post. Yeah. You're like, that's a miss. And then it came down. You were like, that went in.
This shit literally only happens to Nick Foles. And I know he doesn't play defense or anything. And like, apparently somebody got their hand on the block. But this shit literally only happens to fucking 9-inch Nick.
Well, good thing he's on our team.
Fuck yeah.
Know who didn't think it bounced in?
Who?
The announcer for ESPN Espanol. Did you?
Oh yeah, Ricky Ricardo.
No, senor! No, senor! No, senor!
Ricky Ricardo.
Right
there was
away.
nothing. There was nothing.
That's when
better.
you come too fast. You're like, fuck.
There was nothing better.
I've been waiting 2 weeks to have sex, and you. No, senor. No, not yet. Un momento.
There was nothing better than a Spanish
No
announcer
queso. Un momento.
in a huge situation like that.
Oh my god, it's the best.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
queso's gonna be extra.
To Spanish-speaking people, they're
even
normal.
Yeah. Even Merrill wasn't that good.
Merrill Reese is losing it.
He was like, it's not good. Oh. It's no good.
I thought you meant Merrill.
Him too. He wasn't too excited.
Sure he was going wild.
Yeah, but I mean, we all took that was the easiest, not the easiest bet. Last night was the easiest bet, but the Eagles -6.5 or +6.5 against the Bears. Yeah. I mean, the Bears are good, no doubt, but it's their defense that's good, not their offense.
Right.
All right.
They just need to compete.
Not to bore Laura to death. Sorry about that. But I mean, you're an Eagles fan. But
and I watched it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna lie. I can watch it when I can. And
she knows all the parts that we were talking about.
Yeah. Now that
right. I saw that part. I saw the end. I know. I can check in on the double doink.
The double doink. I got the double doink under control.
That's the one thing I don't like about all this is like. Do you see the building in Philly lit up with double doink? And like we're taking a little too far.
Right.
And like I'm a big believer in like karma and like mojo and all that stuff.
Right.
So,
I saw though that people were Venmoing
Cody Parkey.
Yeah.
They're trying to get that karma back.
Murder 3 short.
Yeah, he might have made like 20 grand off that shit.
Props to Parkey. He did sit in the locker room and interviewed like a man.
Yeah.
And
was like, it's my fault.
I mean, Jake Elliott ran. No.
Yeah,
I know how it fucking feels.
How that feels.
Yo, I wouldn't have been confident if Jake Elliott was kicking either. He ain't all that anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss late.
How dare you? That's it. Knock on this. Knock on this old oak.
He just misses extra points.
Anyway,
50s.
We're into the playoffs. We just had to get that off our chest because we're placing bets. I got a nice chunk of change, and I'm going hard this weekend. That's all I got to say. I don't know what I'm betting yet because I'm not really crazy about any of it, but I'm going hard.
$500 on the Birds.
I'm going to wind up taking the Birds because I'm going to win on like a couple more, and I'm like, fuck it, I got $400, $500 sitting here.
Boom.
-8 and then lose it all. And I'm like, no, Chelsea, I did all right. I didn't lose. I did okay.
All right.
I changed my login, so you can't check it, though.
So before the show started, I said there was 2 things I wanted to talk about because they'll be irrelevant before we get into lizard people again, has anybody seen Bird Box yet?
Yes.
Has it?
Okay,
well, I can tell by. Have you?
Yes.
I texted you, told you to watch it.
Did you?
I love that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right, well, let's just go around the table so we don't all scream over each other. Who wants to start? I'll start since I brought it up.
Oh, I was going to say.
Who wants to start? I will.
Okay. Since I brought it up, I'll start because I can tell you already love it. Dan literally just said he already loves it. I think we talked about it, but maybe we didn't.
What?
We watched it.
Sober, so.
Okay, so you know what? I think this is going to be table this side versus that side. I can tell.
Let's go.
Okay, so if anyone's ever seen the movie A Quiet Place, it's kind of like that. A Quiet Place is
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
it's all right. Tell people about what it is.
Before I get to some parts, I'm not going to ruin anything right now. Before I get to some parts, I'll definitely say spoiler alert. It's just like A Quiet Place, just not as good, but that doesn't mean anything. A Quiet Place is fucking banging. Now,
so break down the difference. Quiet Place versus.
Okay, so A Quiet Place is you can't talk basically, and Bird Box is you can't see. So Bird Box, for those who haven't seen it, I'll just give you like a little rundown. There's something, I don't even know what it is. Some type of spirit entity type thing that's like
monster bad guy. This is a bad guy.
And but like it forces you to look into the light, I guess, and then it makes you do this wild ass shit, like kill yourself. But like it was just complete chaos in the movie, like people just crashing into each other and shit like that. So after a while, people figure out like, oh, just don't look. Duh, you know what I mean? And then you're just like, no. I will say the movie kept me entertained though. So there was that, and the acting was good. Sandra Bullock and shit. I've never seen the black actor before. I don't know who he is, but obviously anything John Malkovich in is an instant classic. Yeah. But it just the storyline got real shitty for me. I'll leave it there. Bounce past Ryan.
You want to
popcorn
Ryan? You don't want to go across?
No. Oh yeah.
A little back and forth.
Popcorn Lar. Let's get some good because right now I'm on the downside of it.
All right. I'm probably the worst movie critic, so I'm just going to put that out there. I have not seen a movie that I didn't like.
So,
however.
So first.
Gigi's still one of her, or Giggly.
How you say that?
J-Lo and Ben Affleck?
Gigli.
Gigli. Oh, I never seen that.
Joke's not funny anymore, Ev.
Gigli.
I never seen that.
It's French.
Hold on. Did everyone see Quiet Place?
Yes.
All right, so let's
I'll
compare those two as we start and then get into Bird Box.
I loved A Quiet Place.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I did. However, I think...
So,
what is that?
Ev's Pornhub came up
right where I nutted. Whenever you have Pornhub on.
Why was there a midget on your screen?
Whenever you have Pornhub on and then you close it out and then it goes right back to you're just like, oh shit, that's right where I nutted. And you're like, okay, well.
I'm disgusting.
Anyway, that's nothing better. Where there's somebody around you and like some reason the video starts playing and you're just like, what the fuck? And you're looking at it. And
no, senor. No, senor. No, senor.
No, senor. No, you wait. No more queso. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, we're back.
Back to Bird Box.
Keep in mind, guys, I'm the mom
here,
so let's...
And also
as
my
the
sister.
mom.
So.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Let's start it over.
May respect.
I saw A Quiet Place, and I liked it. I thought it was thrilling, I think.
Okay.
But once I saw the aliens, I was like...
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I think that was.
I thought the acting was incredible.
Wasn't that a sticking point with John Krasinski? That he didn't know if he wanted to show. They didn't know if they wanted to show the aliens.
And that would have been just like a complete rip-off of the actual Alien movie because they don't show the alien, or they kind of do.
Right.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
What movie? Aliens?
Alien.
No, it was called something else.
I was gonna say
with Mark Wahlberg, or not Mark Wahlberg.
Alien.
That.
Alien's like from 1980.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about some other movie.
What was I talking about? Transformers with Mark Wahlberg?
Pain and Gain, I think.
Snow Dogs, the kiddie movie?
Oh, you're talking about the kiddie movie.
What else?
So,
guys, we're live again.
Also, seeing when she was pregnant, they also played into that with Bird Box, her being pregnant.
Right.
But giving birth in silence. Like, that was just, like, no fucking way would this ever really happen.
As you would know, because the first mom who's ever been
right,
on the Garage.
and I can attest to that.
She's had a baby. She's had 2 babies.
2.
Show some respect. Stop talking about Pornhub, Dan.
2 babies.
We got a mother in the building.
But I thought Bird Box was just it was more thrilling, and I think why was because of the kids.
So you like Bird Box better?
I did.
Okay.
I did like Bird Box better.
Because you thought the kids?
Yeah.
What
if
about
she
the
didn't have kids, if it was just Sandra Bullock like doing this, I don't think I would have thought it was that crazy.
Yeah.
But her traveling with the kids, and when she said, I thought the best part of the whole movie.
What she says to her kids is what I want to say to my kids all the time.
Boy and girl.
Yeah.
Shut up and don't say a damn word.
I don't call Evelyn anymore. I call her girl and Logan boy. But when she's traveling with them and she's trying, because she's supposed to, or when they're trying to get to the sanctuary, and one of them is supposed to look, and they both volunteer, like, I'll look. And she's thinking to herself, like, who am I going to choose? My kid. And I think at that point I knew it was going to be the boy.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil. We can't spoil her too hard, but.
But when she figures out, who she's going to choose, I guess, to look. That part was just like. Also, because I'm a mom, so and Mike felt the same way. Mike was like, "You got to turn this movie off." Like he's never affected by movies like that, and but I think it was because. But
did he feel that way in the climax to Quiet Place, like prior to the? I don't want to give too much away. What they were doing in the basement.
That movie came out for two years ago.
Yeah.
They don't want to spoil alert.
Exactly. Yeah.
You guys want spoiler alert? He dies.
When John Krasinski, is out and he makes the noise to get
look away.
The kids, Yeah.
I'll be back on later.
But again, I think because you knew it was an alien, and I thought it was very scary. It was good. It was a very good movie, and the acting was great. But I just thought Bird Box was a little bit better, only because you just never knew what it was. And I think all movie, I was like, are they ever going to show it? Like, what is it? And they never did. So, but I heard that there was. This is based on a book, which I didn't know that there was a book by the Bird Box or whatever. But the ending of the book is way different.
Yeah, I heard about it. It's crazy.
It's always way different. I feel like.
No, but it's
I wish they did. I wish they did do it.
Well, everybody's here seen it, so spoiler alert to.
Okay, spoiler alert.
So
skip ahead.
Skip ahead, and we'll give you like 2 minutes because we're just going to completely ruin everything if you've never seen this. So spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. Okay, the ending of the book. When they get to the sanctuary, it's not people that were blind. It's people that actually physically gouge their eyes out, so they cannot see. It's not. See, I like that way better.
Visually
that's how you get into the sanctuary. You have to literally gouge your eyes out.
See, I kind of like that. This must have been an Asian author. I feel. Asian.
I don't know.
Is this an Asian book?
Bert,
look alive.
Check in.
Bert.
Check into the game.
We need Bird Box, the author.
Wait, but why?
Bird Box book.
Why do you think it's an Asian?
Just because they're gouging out the eyes and shit. I feel like that's very
crazy.
Asian.
Okay.
Asians don't have respect.
Because
for the
in the
eyes.
movie they go to the blind sanctuary, and I'm just like, this is the dumbest. Like, oh guys, we're fine. There's birds everywhere. We got leaves up here and shit.
See, I thought. I'll just go now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought the ending, like. When I saw the School for the Blind, I was like, "Oh my God! How did I not think of that? I thought it was so cool. Like I thought it was a great ending." And like she was saying, a lot of people were like complaining that this was a ripoff of The Quiet Place, but actually the book Bird Box was written before.
It always is.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I think that's why Bird Box kind of got a bad rap because everyone thought it was a ripoff, but in reality, it wasn't. But I thought both movies were great.
Yeah.
So here was my problem. It was like so blown up everywhere.
Yes.
It was like Bird Box.
So you already hated it.
You haven't watched it out? It's been out for 3 days, and you're like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah.
Like, relax.
Give me a second, would you?
So when I finally got to it, now don't get me wrong, like it's a suspenseful movie, but I think my expectations were so much higher. And I did think Quiet Place was better because I felt there was more to the plot of Quiet Place than there was to Bird Box.
I'm not a big fan of aliens. Like, that's not realistic to me. Instead,
they're real as shit, bro.
I was gonna say there's no aliens.
Believe.
You gonna tell me there's no aliens?
Because guess what? I'm pulling out the X-Files when we go in the conspiracy. Studio 69. Studio 54 had aliens.
Area 54.
Now I'm talking about the nightclub in New York City. I'm talking about the fucking disco nightclub.
Isn't it Area 51 anyway?
Yeah. 59.
All right, we all seen Paul.
68.
But maybe that's why I liked it so much, because I literally have no life and I just watch Netflix every single night. And I was like, oh, Bird Box. Let me see what this movie's all about. Before.
Same. I saw.
I like Cheetos and being in my underwear.
Yeah. Before all the memes.
Yeah.
Which has made me like this movie even more, because the memes have been on point.
Yeah.
But I saw it before all the hype, and I was just like, oh, what's this movie all about? And then I was just like, whoa, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
She came a long way from Speed.
Interracial relationship really got my
blew your mind.
Blood pumping.
I like post-apocalyptic movies anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're interesting.
Damn it, Ryan.
No, he's got to come across the table and adjust it.
Because I'm a fucking child.
I just saw him on the side, like, trying to move it, and it was, like, going further away from his face, and he was like,
what do I do?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Turn towards your fucking mouth.
Yeah, so.
All right, well, Bird Box. Spoiler alert over.
I mean, we're back.
I was entertained.
Like I said, I think my expectations were so much higher because everyone wanted me to watch it, and everyone said it was awesome.
What didn't you like about it?
The ending, for sure.
There was some stupid parts, like why was the doctor saved? Like why was she alive at the end of the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hi doctor.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Even though John Malkovich was who he was, I was still a fan of him.
The crazy people, like
MGK made a nice.
See, I thought that made it better because I was like, okay, all you have to do is just close your eyes.
Right.
Like, yes, that seems difficult, but then when there were other people that were forcing you to take your blindfold off, or like when the Sandra Bullock's love interest, whoever that is,
right?
When he died, like that was scary because those
spoiler
were
back on, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But that's
full spoiler alert from 10
from
minutes on.
But that's because like originally I was like, I don't know why you just walk to the supermarket because nothing can happen to you.
Right.
Like you just
if you can't see, nobody's gonna do anything. Like when you hear the voices, I don't know, that dude in the water grabbed her and shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That was creepy when you heard his voice from the distance. I was like, yo, who's that?
Right.
That's why they needed those crazy people to make the story make sense, because
or else
why would you even I would just go about my day just with my eyes closed.
But then again, is there that many crazy people? They were driving around in cars and shit and like had their own gangs.
Wild.
The one dude had like a suit on and shit. I said, where the fuck did you get that suit? It's a $1,000 suit.
What I don't understand those people. Like, did they see it and then were motivated to?
Yeah, was something talking to them? Yeah.
Well, they were
like, how come they didn't kill themselves?
Because they were insane. I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my impression, at least.
Like, so they seen the actual light.
Yeah.
That other people couldn't see.
Right.
Hated it even more.
Okay.
Hated it even more.
But how creepy was the guy? I forget his name in the movie. The guy who comes to the house and like opens all the windows.
Yeah,
and, like,
the dude
literally opens the fucking chick's eyes. Like that was so wild.
Yeah.
I thought that
and
dude
tried
was
to get
nuts.
the babies to look.
Yeah.
I hate that shit though. Like I know it's a movie and it's supposed to make you do that, but obviously don't open the fucking door.
Right.
Right.
And of course, my favorite part, Dumplin' was in the movie. You guys know who Dumplin' is?
No.
Another movie on Netflix. The fat chick. She's in a movie
one.
called Dumplin' with whatever her name, Jennifer Aniston. Dumbest movie ever.
Oh, that just came with the pageant queen.
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
I skipped right over that. Skipped right over that one.
So
it was like, oh, you have a 98% match. I said, says who? Who put that match up next to my shit? Because I didn't watch anything.
Where's the delete button?
Yeah, I had nothing. I watched nothing that had to do with that.
Dumplin'.
But yeah, and that like when they're driving to the grocery store and he's looking at the map, like the map's gonna tell him he's going off the road a little bit.
Speed bump.
He's
It was
he's
the most
like,
updated
I gotta
Jeep
turn
ever.
a little bit
Ding, ding,
because
ding, 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 ding.
it's not.
Okay.
It's telling me all like. I mean, you find things to pick apart when you don't like it.
Right.
I mean, it was a
You
good
made
movie
your
overall,
decision.
right?
You made your decision when everyone else liked it. You were like, "Fuck you!
No, that's
I'm
me.
not gonna like it."
That's me. That was me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always do that shit.
I know.
People are like, "Go watch Game of Thrones." I said, "Next person." Every time someone tells me to watch Game of Thrones,
I'm gonna wait a year.
It gets pushed back 6 months, and that's just like how it happens.
So I'm not
Keep
allowed
telling me I'm gonna watch it on my 50th birthday.
I was gonna say I'm not allowed to start until 2020.
Yeah, like
8.
Dude, it's the best thing ever. I'm
that
like,
far away.
okay. First of all,
That's next year.
First of all, it's 11
million.
seasons, so no, I don't have that much time ever.
no.
People are like, oh, I binge watched it in like 3 weeks. I said, what do you do? What do you do for a living? What do you do with your life?
When do you eat?
Are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship? Did you shit yourself? Like, are you wearing a diaper in your bed watching this? Like,
I haven't watched one episode of Game of Thrones either.
Me neither.
I don't have HBO. New True Detective's coming out. How you doing?
Who's in it? It looks good.
The black dude from
Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that movie called? Sunrise. The gay kid in the ghetto.
Moonlight?
That was banging. Moonlight.
Yeah.
That was good.
Moonlight, Sunrise, same thing.
Kind of. Opposites, but antonyms. Synonyms
Right.
and antonyms.
Yeah.
We getting conspiracies or what, dude?
Yeah, I mean.
That's where I came for. It's the only reason I'm here.
It's the only reason why I'm here.
Well, I had to bring back up. So last week we got deep. Not too deep where we were like, putting tinfoil hats on, but like it was good. It was going.
But if somebody had one, I would have put one on.
Yeah. So I had to bring some backup. Dan was she whipped out her binder and I got very overwhelmed.
Ev's hands were shaking and shit.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, I can't even read. Don't pass that sheet around. She was handing out sheets to everybody.
Descriptions.
You guys will follow along with the directions.
Put your name at the top and
if you look at diagram A.
I was like, oh shit.
No, yeah, the whole time I was listening, I listened to the next morning, and the whole time I was just like, Evan, come on, you know this stuff. Come on, say it, buddy, say it.
We've been through this.
I've taught you well. And
apparently not well enough.
Yeah.
No, my memory was sharded. So
no, it is hard.
Where did we leave off exactly? We left off at
What did we want to get in?
We wanted to get into like mandala or something. You said something like that?
Yeah, the Mandela effect is what I had. Because it's so opposite of the New World Order. The New World Order is very serious. And
do I have to do a quick recap for anybody? Or no, because they can listen to the first episode. Because I know Dan wanted to chime in on a bunch of shit. So what do we want to start with? Dan, chime in?
I love 9/11. Like, that's probably what I'm going to focus on tonight. I have another conspiracy we could talk about, but...
Well, I know the one you were going to talk about, and I didn't want to bring it up because I knew I would fuck it up. Because I kind of know what you were going to talk about, too. I was really impressed with the Titanic one. I don't believe it at all. But it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on board with you guys.
I never heard that until...
Yeah, I don't believe... The Windows thing is like, oh, no, I get it. And it was really cool. But I was like, why? Because the insurance money, I guess. But whatever. It was cool.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess insurance money is a really big deal. So
let's start with Mandela effect.
Yeah, because that's what we wanted to get with.
Okay.
And get your notes. Because I have a present for you, too.
Oh,
ooh.
It's not that good, so...
Tinfoil hats. So I know nothing about the Mandela effect, so I'm actually very excited.
Cool. What is that?
Oh,
holy shit!
The big boy.
No,
wherever the camera is, I don't know.
The big one right there.
Oh my! I didn't even know they sold them like this.
You gotta chug that whole thing.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna need you to shotgun that and then go.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Off camera, that sounds very bad.
I haven't seen a 40.
3 weeks ago. Bunch of degenerates.
God.
Cheers.
Thanks.
For those of you who are just listening.
White Claw.
Nice.
But it's a very big one.
It's a household name now.
Yeah, what is it, like 24 ounces or something like that?
White girl, White Claw, wasted. Yeah, we were talking about it last time. How like girls just like leave their parents and go to college and just start White Clawing it.
Yeah.
And whatever comes with it, and whatever comes with it, we all know what goes with it.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Mandela. Never even heard of it, actually.
All right. So...
Nelson.
Conspiracies Part Dukes.
That's exactly where it comes from. So it's the Mandela effect, and... I'll say what it is, and then I'll give my opinions about it later, obviously. So the Mandela effect is, this is my words, okay?
Because you fucking...
Paraphrase.
No, what she straight copied and pasted last time. She was stuttering. She was reading the word. She was like, then...
The Mandela effect, in my words, is a phenomenon where a large number of people, hundreds of thousands maybe even, have a false memory about an event or a fact. So this is based around Nelson Mandela's supposed death.
I thought that was a different name too. I know what you're talking about.
I've heard of this.
Okay,
you got me and Dan in. We see the thing in the water and we're chasing it right now.
Okay. I don't know what you mean, but all right. So
it's a fishing thing.
Oh, all right. This was based around what many people believe was Nelson Mandela's death back in like the 90s. So many people.
People are like, Nelson Mandela? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Right. He's been dead. Thought that he died in prison. Somewhere between 1990 and 2000, before his actual death in 2013. They thought he died in prison. Obviously, he didn't. He came out and became South Africa's president. So much.
He was in Bruce Almighty.
Yes, he was. That it was like in textbooks that he had died. Like in some textbooks in South Africa.
Oh, sure. South Africa.
That he had died. So, and people swear that they saw his funeral. And so that's where this comes from.
What are some other examples?
Okay, well, that's what I was going to chill.
Sorry,
okay,
dude.
I got
Jesus,
it. I have it numbered here.
It's your sister.
So that was the beginning of it. So people are like, wait a minute, I thought he died. And then everyone else is like, yeah, I thought he died too. I saw the funeral. So this is where it comes from. So there are like seriously probably 50 to 100 examples of this. Yeah. There's Reddit forums. There's forums all over the internet of people just coming forth and being like, do you guys remember this? And then, people saying, that they agree.
Is there another term for it? I feel like there's another term.
Maybe like an alternate reality. Like people are.
What's the word I'm thinking of is when someone believes something. It's kind of like that didn't happen, or like
false reality. Like people.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Well, nah.
Deja vu freaks me out. Can we look up deja vu? Like what's that?
What
from?
It actually is.
Damn, dude, it's like
people that support this though. They say like, okay, we're in alternate realities, and when we were kids, we remember it one way, but in reality, it didn't even happen like that.
We broke off somewhere.
Yeah, like realities are colliding, and like some people, like I'm gonna read these examples, and you might be like, nah, I don't remember that at all, and some people that are listening might be like, oh my god, yeah. So it can affect you. It might not affect you at all. I put them in order of how it affected me. So this is just
okay.
Do you know what I mean? So one of the examples is Curious George having a tail. Did he or did he not have a tail? If you can picture him in your mind, did he have a tail?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, he had a tail.
I don't fucking know.
No.
Ev didn't read books, so.
I don't read that stupid yellow book.
He never had a tail.
Okay, because he tucked it in those pants.
Well, bad illustrator.
Right. Right. So, and let me preface this by saying, some of these, I think, and even in my mind, I'm like, okay, you can chalk it up to this or that. Like, you can explain some of them. But then
his tail wasn't a big important part of the story.
Yeah, like, I don't really...
No, it wasn't a part of the story at all. But if you're imagining it, you might be like, yeah, I feel like he would have a tail because you
he's
think
a
he's a monkey, but he's actually a chimp.
Right.
Apparently, they don't have tails. I don't know. All right.
You should have started with that. Do chimps have tails? Because I would have been like, yeah, they have tails.
I guess they don't.
Yeah. Bring up a picture of a hairless chimp.
All right, the next one. John F. Kennedy, his motorcade had how many people in the car? 4 or 6?
4.
Definitely.
6.
6.
What?
So
yeah, because it's a 3-row.
Okay, so
I car.
Swore it was 4, and I was like, no.
Yeah, because the 2 people, and then
the dude driving,
Jackie was holding his head,
and the 2 people in the back, and JFK. No, there were 6.
No, you guys are idiots because there was 6 rows in the car.
6 rows in the car, really?
Yeah.
Dumbass.
6 seats.
All right, number 8.
We let our guests talk to
but
us
you know
like
what?
that.
That's another thing that's not important.
No, none of these are, Evan. Please don't think that any of these are going to be like
what's important is that his head got shot off and his wife was holding it.
And I think that's
Sorry,
why.
I was distracted and didn't realize how many rows the goddamn Lincoln had.
I think that's why that this happens, because it's facts that don't really matter.
I cannot believe I cannot think of this.
If the question was, did John F. Kennedy get his head blown off?
Yes. Yeah. For 100.
I think
by who though, Dan? By who? How many shooters?
Just one.
George Bush Sr. George Bush Sr. was there. He had a fake mustache on and a top hat.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, if I dress like a weird Abe Lincoln, they'll never recognize me. He's got away with it. He took it to his grave. R.I.P.
All right, the next one. We Are the Champions. Freddie Mercury never, and I can explain this one, but he never actually says "of the world" at the end.
No way.
I know, but the album and this was explained because I was like, no way. I just watched that movie.
Yeah.
He says it, but
Rami Malek says it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, he's wrong. In the album version, he does not say it at the end, but in the Live Aid performance, he did. So maybe that's what people are remembering.
Well, the Live Aid's the only important one.
Well, yeah, that one was really good. But I guess if you have the album and you listen to it, at the end he does not say of the world.
I'm actually over the song, so I haven't listened to it in so long.
Yeah.
Plus, I always lose, so I never have the appropriate time to. I never really have the time. I never really have the time to put that on. So I usually listen to Beck. I'm a loser, baby. No, why don't you kill me?
Oh, that was great.
God damn it! What is the word I'm thinking of?
Isn't there?
Say it again. Describe it again.
It's like when somebody, they're like almost in denial. So it's like
denial that it happened.
Yeah, like stupid shit. Like, no, my boyfriend doesn't hit me, or like, no, like people who are in denial, but it's true. Like they hide it. God, it's like a medical term, I think.
AIDS.
Oh, I got it. AIDS. It's AIDS.
Anyway, I don't want to keep interrupting.
Is there any important examples of these? Because I swear I've heard.
Well, let me keep going because I'm only at number 7. I only had I had 10.
I have 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have 486. So
sit tight.
Nobody say anything for like an hour.
In Star Wars, the line is not "Luke, I am your father." It's "No, I am your father." So he never says "Luke, I am your father." I can't explain that one.
Evan, you should.
Ev?
You're the expert.
Is that true?
Well, it doesn't matter because she just said it, so obviously I can just be like, no, he says I'm your father.
I thought he said Luke.
Right, but I don't know.
I think
why.
this is everybody who's been repeating it for the last 500 years.
Right, but why?
Because people know the line without seeing the movie.
Like, what's the movie?
I certainly didn't see the movie.
Me neither.
Same.
Same. What's the movie with Chris Farley?
Beverly Hill Ninjas.
No, when he's
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Tommy Boy when he's doing it in the fan. I think that's probably
that's
what
I'm
it's
saying.
from.
Like people start doing like goofy
Yeah.
shit, and they change it. Yeah.
No shit.
The line is not "Mirror, mirror on the wall." It's "Magic mirror on the wall." So Snow White's evil stepmother does not say "Mirror, mirror on the wall."
I always used to do Bloody Mary in the mirror.
Yeah.
We were having like sleepovers and shit. Yo, go say Bloody Mary a couple times in that window, huh?
You had to say it at like 4 a.m., right?
In the mirror.
Yeah.
That was the rule.
I would do that, and my sister would be like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to sleep." I'm like, "Sorry, Mare." My sister's name's Mary. For those of you that don't know.
I'd hear Bud in the background like, "Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice." I said, "I don't think that one's gonna work."
No, but don't do that one.
No, not him. Not Beetlejuice.
Anybody but Beetlejuice.
We can't handle Michael Keaton right now.
Oh shit.
What was supposed to be a serious episode has not gone too serious so far.
This isn't serious. That's why.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
New World Order was very serious.
Right,
That's
and I'm sure once we get into 9/11.
No, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
All
right, this one really. I don't know how this is possible.
I'm curious why you have the Monopoly guy on your paper.
Oh, that's coming. That's my number 4.
Oh, no shit.
Jif peanut butter was never Jiffy, and I swore I had Jiffy peanut butter. It was never Jiffy.
Jiffy Lube, I think, is what you're thinking of.
It's a card place, you perverts.
Yeah, that's it. Jiffy Lube. I usually go there. Okay.
What a bunch of perverts, huh?
It's not Jiffy peanut butter. It's Jif. Number 4.
And it's a GIF, not a GIF. I call it a GIF.
So do I.
Yeah,
what
GIF.
is it? Is it not?
I don't know.
I think
they're spelled the same, right?
Some people do call it
so
GIF.
GIF is peanut butter.
GIF?
GIF is a little.
It's supposed to be
People
how
say
it's
Yeah, ISIS.
pronounced.
ISIS says GIF.
Yeah.
like the guy that created it.
Communist.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tom,
really?
Tom
It's
from
called
MySpace.
GIF. Yeah.
That's white T-shirt. Number 4. Mona Lisa is actually
Vincent Van
smirking.
Gogh. Oh.
Now, in this one, you have to see a picture of it, and I didn't include a picture because I wasn't going to do that.
That's a lot of color ink.
I feel like maybe
Color
when
ink's
you
expensive.
thought about it or learned about it, she was not. She was completely, her mouth was straight across. But if you look at the picture now, she is smirking.
Yo, we can get into some Da Vinci.
I love that movie.
Like that was him dressed up as a girl.
Yeah.
Painted that. That's cool.
The Monopoly Man, which I did have a picture of. Does he or does he not have a monocle?
I always assumed he did.
Say, yeah. Obviously he doesn't. Yeah, obviously.
And you can see it. I feel like this one with
Looks
his
like it,
monocle looks like him, but he never had a monocle.
So where did that come from?
I don't know.
That comes
That's
from
what
the
I'm
peanut.
saying.
The peanut guy.
That's
the peanut. Definitely, I'm telling
Planters.
you. Planters. Yeah, he's got a monocle.
Yeah, but here's the thing. For $1 million, I wouldn't know. I'd be like, I don't know. It's just that's his dad. He's chasing his dad. I don't know.
You would have to use a lifeline.
Which camera's on?
Phone a friend.
Oh, I would have brought a better.
Mine's a lot closer.
picture.
If you want me to just.
Yeah, sorry. Just look it up. He does not have a monocle. I thought he did. I know. So you can see my writing on there. So you can see my fears. Don't look.
Oh my God!
No.
Ah, shit. Possums.
God.
Goddamn possums.
Number 5, 3, and 1. That's weird.
Possums? Playing possum?
All right, this one.
Oh, possums.
I actually called you on this. This one. This is. Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam.
This is where I heard it. Okay.
Sinbad.
This was a serious one that you wanted.
That Shaq movie?
One. No, it was Sinbad, and he was a genie.
And I swear to God, this was a movie.
Same.
And a lot of people do. Thousands of people
Yes.
do. It's online. Like everyone thinks there's this movie with Sinbad in it where he was a genie.
Yes, and it was called Shazam.
Shazam.
Probably because he wears those baggy pants all the time.
So he was never in a movie?
Nope.
No, and he actually
No
tweeted.
movies.
He was like, "I was never in that movie. I mean, I would
I was
do
thinking
it
of
if
Sinbad,
anybody
like
wants me
of the
to."
sea, like the cartoon. You're talking about Sinbad, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinbad
Your
the
personal
comedian.
favorite.
Personal favorite.
One of your favorites.
Yeah.
I
We
love
bought
Sinbad.
tickets for our parents to go see him.
Yeah.
Down in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
I think they enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I think they did.
they
I'm
did.
sure they did.
They did.
I'm sure they had a good laugh. I'm sure they had a good chuckle at Sinbad up there. Oh, the genie. Guys, it's the genie, Sinbad. Shitbad. Shimpads. The Shimpads is up here.
What were you thinking? What did you think we were talking about? The Sinbad of the Sea?
Yeah,
The cartoon. Oh, the cartoon character.
Yeah, I thought Shitbad the genie. He was in Aladdin.
Oh man.
That movie never existed, and I'm not confusing Sinbad with Shaq. I know the difference,
Right.
but
That's
Shaq
and that's
was
Kazam.
in
Anyway.
That's Kazam.
Kazam. Yeah,
Great movie.
and then the number one, which is the most popular, was the Berenstain Bears. It's Berenstain with an A-I-N, not E-I-N, which I swore it was E-I-N. I had to go and look at Evelyn's book, and I was like, no way.
It's
when
A? It has an A?
Yes.
Not exactly sure what that means at all.
It's like a book.
The Berenstain Bears. Have
It was
you
a
ever heard of
book.
them?
It's like
No.
a
They're a
book
book?
series.
Kids book.
Yeah.
Widely popular.
Bert, is the computer just broken or?
Ev,
Bird Box book.
during
That's what we're
the
leaving
time
off
that everyone was reading Berenstain Bears,
I
Ev
jumped
was,
ahead. I was in the Goosebumps.
Ev was modeling, so
Yeah.
you couldn't
Right.
say.
I was
Right.
modeling, reading Goosebumps on the road, going city to city with my Goosebumps.
All right, so that's the Mandela
Anyway,
effect.
that's
Captain Underpants.
10 of many examples,
Yeah.
but those were the most popular, I think.
Now, this one, I don't know if I'm just stupid and
Yeah.
I think this, but I could. Let me just ask you this, Evan. Was Bill Clinton impeached?
For getting a BJ.
Bill Clinton was the president. Remember?
Stop it! Of course I know him. They used to call him Elvis.
Everybody did.
Because he used to party so hard. He used to go to that freaky island with all the other guys
Yeah.
and bang underage girls.
Right.
Classic.
I guess he was, since you're asking me.
See, I thought he was, and he was not.
So all he did
He
was
was never impeached.
So he just got the BJ to finish out his term, and then
No, neither was Nixon, right? Nixon wasn't impeached either,
I don't know.
right?
Oh, I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't. He resigned.
Oh.
fucking internet. We can't look up anything.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
who was after Clinton?
Bush. No. Yeah.
Yeah, Bush.
Bush.
Yeah.
No shit.
All right. Enough.
So did you want to go into your
9/11.
your
No. Before we
other
get to
ones.
9/11, let's do the other one.
Let's
I
do
think
the
I know
other
what
one.
you're going to talk about. Hit all the Nazis going to Argentina.
Okay. So,
Have you heard about this, Lar?
No.
I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know much about this. I heard it for the first time on Rogan's podcast. He had on
Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy.
If you guys don't know who Tim Kennedy is, he's the most American man who's ever
Yeah,
lived.
and he's doing this show called Hunting Hitler. I think it's on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, or History.
or
one of
History or
those.
something. And basically,
Badass motherfucker. So if there's somebody you want hunting Hitler, it's Tim
it's
Kennedy.
this guy. Yeah, and he's not
Bert,
like
bring up
one of
picture
those
Tim
like tinfoil hat guys. Like he's not a crazy dude where he's
No.
gonna believe like any stupid conspiracy.
No, absolutely not.
Someone like me. But so basically, what they're saying is like the FBI released all these documents like recently or in like the past couple of years, and no one really paid attention to these documents. But what they found is that they have spent like millions of dollars right after the war to find Hitler, and
because they never found his body.
Right.
Apparently, gunshot to his head. He committed suicide. So that's a whole other thing.
So, like,
too,
Russia got his body, and they wouldn't let anybody see him. And
which made no sense. Why would they get him?
They tested him, and like they were like, "Yeah, it's Hitler. It's definitely Hitler. You know, he's fine.
Don't come over here, guys.
Don't look at him.
We'll bury him proper."
Right. So, so it's like people started looking into it a little more, and I don't know how it got like started to think, oh, let's go look over in Argentina or whatever.
There was a reason they were in Argentina.
Right. I forget why.
Maybe because there's just a huge German population out of nowhere.
Well, that's the thing. They found these towns in South America where there's just thousands of German-speaking citizens now, today.
Yeah, now, there's thousands and thousands of German-speaking people in Argentina.
I
don't know how far Germany is from Argentina. It ain't close.
This is why, because a lot of other high-level Nazi officers left and went to South America and Argentina.
Which is crazy, because how the fuck do you get to Germany from South America?
Right, I have no idea. Submarine, maybe?
Yeah.
The U-boat.
Just drop you off in the corner. There you are.
No, that's what
I'm getting on the next U-boat.
That's what the conspiracy says, is that Hitler escaped in a submarine. But it is crazy. So I was listening to the podcast with Rogan, and I was just blown away by the fact that there's thousands of German-speaking citizens in South America today. And, like, of course, there's been people that said they've seen Hitler and all that stuff. The only reason I am not too into this is because I was telling Laura before this, it didn't really change anything, you know? Like, if he was alive, okay, so be it. If he wasn't, okay, like nothing came of it, so it really wasn't.
He never
that
tried
big
to
of a
pull
deal.
off any more shit. But like, if I was to walk by Hitler right now, like, I don't know if I'd know what the fuck. He'd be an old fucking. He'd be 110 years old right now.
Right.
And I'm sure he got rid of his stupid fucking mustache. So
that would be the only indication that it would be him.
Nobody in the world is allowed to have that mustache. So like nobody, you know what I mean? If you were to like cut off the top, like the sides of your lips, mustache wise, everyone would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck you doing?
Right.
Fuck you doing with that mustache?
Yeah. Somebody in high school that did it, and they were like, the second they walked in, they were like, nah, you gotta get out.
Of course. Jeez.
Yeah. But so like I kind of believe, like I said, I believe almost every conspiracy because I'm psycho.
Well, I definitely believe there's a bunch of Germans in
Argentina
that prove that.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't know who they are. It's not like they have the Inglourious Bastard swastikas fucking carved on their forehead. So.
But the whole thing was like they never had proof that they had his body, and Germany was the ones who came out and told the whole world that Hitler killed himself and he was dead, and like no one else saw it.
Was he not barricaded in a room?
Yeah, he was. He barricaded himself.
Right.
Well, that they say he did
with his girlfriend.
Right.
Ava.
Did they find her?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean, Germany, like their whole thing was like false information. Like that's what they were known for.
The only thing, like, this goes for all conspiracies too. Like, nobody can keep a secret that good. So there's obviously something. But I believe
there has to be a small amount of people.
I believe half of it, but the other half is like, there's no way somebody would not just be like, yo, I know where the fuck he is.
Yeah.
Like you can't hold secrets.
Like
People are so bad at holding secrets.
You know,
and then you're gonna tell me thousands of people or a whole fucking country.
He's over there.
Yeah. Nah, he went to Argentina. He said we're good now. I can stop dyeing my hair blonde.
So see you guys later.
Yeah. All right, round one's done. Good job, everybody. Good job. I'm gonna look up that word that I've been looking for because it's fucking driving me nuts, and I sound like a moron, which I am. But I know a little bit.
Everybody is listening to this.
They know the word,
and they're like, "Come on, it's it." Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. They said that's the closest thing to being a ghost.
Potpourri, you idiot.
All 5 people are like, "Come on, say it." Here we go. 2 times. The cart in your way. We give you a cup of.
A couple goldfish, a couple GF.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we're back from pee break. Follow us on the. Follow us. We're back from a good pee break.
Back from pee break. Let's go.
Let's go. Follow us on Instagram at Podcast Garage. Get us on. Obviously, you're listening to this, but tell your friends if any podcast format. We're on everything except Spotify. You know why. Tell To my left.
Nobody does know, but
nobody knows why. To my left, Rye Rick, as always. How you doing, Rye?
What's up? Hey, Don.
Had a good piss.
You get one applause. I'm done.
You got your one in the beginning. Hey, I advocated for your applause.
Now, I told you the first round.
Shit, fuck.
Nobody knows you're here.
Ryan,
I know this is halfway through the show, but will you mute this fucker until I say his name? This guy's just steady.
There we go. They're done.
Overstepping his bounds.
They're done.
Back for part, Dukes.
I can hear it, but no one else can.
The conspiracy lady herself. You're not.
Oh God.
Yes, the conspiracy. Miss Conspiracy Lady herself, Rye's sister, a.k.a. Lauren Kearns. What's up? Dan, you son of a bitch. All right, guys, Dan's here.
Hi.
Dan's here, dude. He can't keep his goddamn mouth shut. Dan's back.
Hi, guys.
Now, we were talking about Nazis in Argentina. I don't...
So we're gonna move on from
there.
Yeah, no, it's a really. I wish we had more info on that.
Yeah,
too.
we're gonna quickly move on.
That was a really good one. Look, anybody who's interested in that though, look up Tim Kennedy and
Rogan.
Joe Rogan's podcast. I don't know what number or anything, but just look them up. They have a couple together. But
Hunting Hitler,
dude, he's just the man. He's absolutely the man. Bring him a picture of Tim.
He
Kennedy.
probably has his own podcast at this point, right?
Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. He
no.
literally has no time. He's literally hunting ISIS 24/7.
Nice.
He's an absolute psychopath, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so we are moving on.
So what conspiracy we're going to dip into now? I guess 9/11.
I love 9/11.
I want to bring up a question to you.
Okay.
It has kind of 9/11, but just because we spent hours and hours together. 7 years.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
A long time.
Slept in the car.
We had sexy. We had sexy time.
Sexy time?
Alex Jones isn't allowed. I don't think we got to talk about that. What? He's not banned? No, he got banned. Yeah. So I don't think we've talked about him being banned because we hated him together.
Oh my God.
Because he's just a fucking. Because of the Sandy Hook is what really turned us off. Because it's cool if he brings up conspiracies because we're into that. He gets a little too animated, and I can tell it was all for a show and shit. But he got banned, and it's probably been a couple months now since he's been banned, but we haven't been able to talk about it. But like, just tell me.
He's been banned from what?
He's banned from all social media and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Get it. What's your thoughts on it? I'm just giving you a little segue so I can look it up real quick. But
Alex Jones, I'm not a fan, which is like surprising because I'm super into conspiracies. But to me, he knows how to make money. He knows how to gain a following, and that's the only reason why he's doing all this stuff while he's saying all these outrageous claims.
He knows how to quote unquote incite a riot.
Right.
It's not riot, but like to get people fired up.
He's just like fucking Stephen A. Smith or anybody like that. Like he has a character that he plays, and he plays that fucking character very well. You know what I mean?
Pizzagate. He was on Rogan saying like, "Oh, Pizzagate. There's all these political people, and there's pictures on the fucking pizzeria. They're touching kids." I do believe that politicians are creepy and they have a lot of power.
I wouldn't be
surprised. Probably have sexual relations, just like the Catholic Church and all the other churches did for fucking hundreds of years. They touch kids and they cover. I'm not saying just because you're a politician you want to touch kids. That's not why you go into politics. That's why you go in to be a Catholic or a priest. But like that's not what happens. But there is people who are nasty and do that, and they can cover it up because they have power and shit.
They have the power,
That's definitely a fucking thing. Do I think there's a painting in a fucking pizzeria in Brooklyn? No.
And where he lost me is when he would strictly go after the Democrats because he was, right wing. So he would always say that the DNC is this and DNC is that and the Clintons are this. And don't get me wrong, I think the Clintons are, they've done some shit in their day.
Who hasn't as a politician?
They've killed some people. Mm-hmm. But it just he lost me with some of his stories, and I've never followed him since.
Once the Sandy Hook thing came out, I was just like, dude, I can't. You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
I understand you're playing a character, but you can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do that, dude. And like I said, like it's hard. I said this last episode, but I'll say it again just for whatever. When I talked to Ryan, I was like, "Yo, we're gonna start this just as." It's basically we're doing this shit whether the mics are on or not. We're just sitting here bullshitting and drinking beers.
Right.
But like, let's not talk about politics because I don't fucking care about politics. No, it's just something you don't talk about. But with conspiracies, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
They're the reasons. They're the conspiracy. So this is. I'm not claiming to know anything about politics or anything like that. But just so you know, us talking about this shit, I don't know dick. I've never voted.
So, we were talking about what we should come back with. and we were like, oh yeah, 9/11, Tower 7.
Our Quake team was Tower 7.
Tower 7, yeah.
Right. 9/11, Tower 7,
yeah.
and then we got into Alex Jones.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
Where's the connection?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a legit question. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Talk
It
about
was a
this
legit
Alex
question.
Jones?
Oh, I'm sure he has. I haven't listened to anything.
I think I think he wouldn't agree that it's a conspiracy because I feel like he's Republican.
Something, yeah. I don't know.
Now you go that fucking weirdo Michael Moore who makes all the documentaries about shit. He's a little too liberal or out there, whatever he is.
Right. So I'm just gonna. I want to ask you guys because none of you guys said it on last week's episode. What you think of 9/11? Like, what's your opinion? Do you not want to state it because in case you're on fucking NBC one night and they bring back this episode?
I thought I said what I
remember
wanted.
12 years ago. You said.
I feel like the we'll do a round table. We're doing a round table discussion right here. So I feel like there's no way that it was like an inside job. Okay. There's no way that I would love. Well, I can't say no way. Me personally, I cannot believe that the U.S. knowingly, purposely let somebody hijack planes and crash them into the World Trade Centers. I can't get behind that they would do that to their own people just for them to get the backing of war. But I know that's a good reason. Like that's the type of shit they try to do because it's not their kids going to war. It's not their family dying. It's not all that shit.
Is that your morals that are saying I wouldn't do this, so no way somebody else would do that?
Well, the thing is, like, I know that the Bushes and like the Bin Ladens have like a relationship for years, so that's always in the back of my mind. But what I do know is that like something happened, and they were like, "All right, finally, we can push the fucking detonate button on Tower 7."
Right. Whether it was an inside job or not,
like the planes were full of people who died.
Right.
I will never disrespect those families of anybody who died in 9/11 or anything like that. Like, people were like, "Oh, the windows were blown out and the planes were remotes and shit." Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Like, you can't say that shit to fucking people who have family members missing and shit. Like, don't be a complete fucking asshole.
Right. So whether or not
we're too close to New York to be saying that shit. Like, if you live in Denver and you have no fucking family on the East Coast, it's easy for you to say. Can't say that shit around here.
Whether or not it was an inside job or not, they definitely ran with it to do what they wanted to do and get into war and attack who they wanted to attack and all that kind of stuff.
Politicians have a plan in place for when shit happens. They know how to take the momentum of the people and go with it.
Right.
Look at me sounding like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You do.
There you go.
You're so smart.
So what I want to ask you is, so in America, there's what 300 million people.
Did you guys agree with anything I said? Because
that's
that's
what I'm saying. I was kind of trying to go along with it.
I think there are parts of 9/11 that seem a little shady, and I also think it's just human nature when a big event like this happens is to point to a conspiracy theory because it doesn't make sense. Like you said, like, how could this happen to us?
Right, Jeff Uldall melts
right, how could this happen? But when you think about all the things that happen after it, all the positives or, heightened security.
Never had more military
like
sign up at one time.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's like, oh, okay, well, I can kind of see how maybe if it was an inside job or part of it was an inside job, the benefits that actually come out of it. Again, not saying that.
I know exactly what you're saying, yeah. It's hard to say.
It's hard to think that somebody would do that to their own people.
But it's also hard to talk about it without not showing like sympathy. Like, you don't want to disrespect any of the families and shit. Like, people died. 2,000 plus people died. So you don't want to be like, but
right, but also if it was an inside job or not, those people still died.
Right, lives were lost regardless.
And we're not saying that people didn't die or
right.
I'm just what I wanted to say is there's over 350 million people in America. I wouldn't for one second think that our politicians wouldn't say, "Hey, let's sacrifice 3,000 people." To, 3,000 to 300 million.
Because you say
to get to another point,
what they want.
Exactly.
Because you say it like that, and that's what I was just saying. Because it's not their kids joining the fucking Marines.
Right.
It's not their fucking dad or cousin who's on the 30th floor in accounting for Allstate or some shit. Like,
and if it was, they're gonna make sure they're not there.
Yeah, just like nobody died in the fucking Pentagon.
Right.
I still remember we had a presentation when I was in school at Salisbury, and we had a guy come in from I forget where. I'm gonna say J.P. Morgan or something like that, one of the big banks, and he was a guy that's high up, but he knew somebody that's went to school there or teaches there. I don't know, whatever. But we got this big name guy to come talk to our
Jordan
our
Belfort.
business school. Yes, exactly.
It's going to take a fucking tank to get me out of here.
And he's telling his story and how he got started, blah, blah, blah. And he says at one point, I was interviewing for this company. I forget what the name of the company was. And he was like, and I would have been, you know, thank God I didn't take that job. And like kind of moved on. And then there was a question and answer section at the end. And I'm smiling now because like, it's kind of funny, but like it's also not funny. But one of my teachers raised his hand and said, you know, you said you were happy that you didn't get that job. Why were you happy?
Fuck.
And he was like, because their offices are on the 84th floor of the first World Trade Center. And you're like, everyone was like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like there was an eerie silence over the room. Like,
But that's the type of thing where like that person will remember that. Like, yo, things happen for a reason. I don't know if I believe that shit because like everyone's like, oh, everything happens for a reason. I don't know if everything happens for a reason, but there's a reaction for every action. Yeah. So that's more what it is.
Right.
Because maybe he did get that job, and then his family's like, believe this, he got this job that he's been dying to get, and then he dies a week. That's the same thing as
right. And there were so many stories of
him not getting it and surviving.
There were so many stories of I missed my train. Yeah, I was supposed to be on a plane, but I had to.
Yeah. I woke up late. I had vicious diarrhea. I couldn't leave.
So I got a $5 box from Taco Bell, and it's just like it was all downhill from there.
So speaking of things that could be possibilities,
right?
We get into Tower 7.
I just want to come out and
hit the detonate button.
I just want to get it over with and say like my thoughts on 9/11 because I don't think that our government hired Osama bin Laden to come attack America. I don't think that. I do think, and people might not like this, I do think that we knew weeks and months ahead of time, and we kind of
they said that FBI knew that something was going to be happening.
And they just kind of talked it over and said, listen, like, all right,
what are the pros and cons
of letting this happens? What can we get out of it?
So if they knew that was going to happen, like, so was there a traitor for, like, the Taliban or whatever they called themselves back then, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, whatever it was back then, that, like, tipped off American, like, with American soldiers, or were, like, they just in cahoots with them, and bin Laden was just like, yo, we're going to fucking hijack a plane and blow up one of your cities.
So one of the things I've learned doing research and like watching different shit on YouTube is that bin Laden was attacking U.S. for years before actual 9/11, and Al-Qaeda was attacking. Like that wasn't the first time the Twin Towers were attacked. There was a car bomb in
89 or something like that.
in 89, and then
bridges and
the Black Hawk Down incident. Bin Laden took responsibility for that.
Black Hawk Down, like the movie?
Yeah. Supposedly it was like in Africa. They got
it's a great movie.
A fighter jet got shot down, but it was from Al-Qaeda. And there was also like a U.S. Navy ship that got blown up, and that was from Al-Qaeda. So this wasn't the first time that he was attacking the United States. So we were watching him. Even when Clinton was president, he attempted to assassinate bin Laden and failed. So he wasn't like some random guy that nobody knew. There was an interview with bin Laden years before 9/11 where he warned the United States. He said, I'm going to attack you guys.
Remember all those creepy
blah, blah, blah.
fucking videos they used to send in?
Yeah. So, actually, like, CBS went to Afghanistan, sat in a cave with bin Laden, and he did a TV interview and said, I hate America, I'm going to attack America, all this. So it wasn't...
And you think CBS would have been like, yo, guys, in here.
It wasn't a secret. And that's why...
like how Sean Penn got El Chapo caught super fast? I just interviewed El Chapo down the street at a...
He's actually a cave saint.
Yeah, check it out. At a Shake Shack, if you guys are looking for him.
So, yeah, so I think our CIA intercepted some...
Right, that's the job of the CIA.
Yeah, and they found out, and...
You ever seen Homeland?
Right, exactly.
Are you kidding me? I know. I haven't watched it once, and I know everything. Dan's like, yo, did you see Homeland last night? I was like, Dan, I don't watch it. He's like, all right, let me tell you what happened.
All right, open scene to...
all right. So it was a nice sandy mist, and go ahead.
So the one thing I want to bring up, and you guys could tell me what you think about this. Have you heard about, it's called the Project for a New American Century?
No.
Have you heard about this?
No.
All right, so it was like a neoconservative think tank. It started in 1997, so 4 years before 9/11. Basically, it was like Republicans coming up with foreign policy for the way the Republican Party was going to run the country for the next decade or century.
Right, because it's always back-to-back elections. Usually a person wins.
Right. So it's basically just like their plan, and they wrote it all down, and they had this one chapter. It's called Rebuilding America's Defenses.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so they're basically talking about they want to make it so America is the world power. They want to be like Rome back in the old days, where it's an empire and we go out and get territory and we invade countries that are a threat to us and take them over. And that's where they wanted America to be. They thought it was best for Americans and it was best for the world if America was the leaders of the entire world. So they were talking about they want to increase spending in defense and missiles and technology, and their one statement in these papers that really like came out after 9/11 is the process of transformation. So transformation of our defenses and our military, the process of transformation, even if it brings revolutionary change, is likely to be a long one, absent some catastrophic and catalyzing event like a new Pearl Harbor. So in 1997, they're saying the only way our defenses and our military is going to quickly evolve and transform is if we have a new
catastrophic event.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So they didn't stop it, is what we're getting at.
That's what I said.
They knew something and decided not to stop it because, like you said, I'm saying this not out of like I keep having to say this, but like I'm not saying this out of respect, but like as one of the higher politicians, so we lose a lousy 3,000 people,
exactly.
blah blah. We'll get the whole country behind us.
Right. And they'll get what they want. They wanted increased spending. Congress gave them millions and billions of dollars for military.
We kind of just create our own money and just ruin our own money all the time. Between banks and
fake,
fucking all that shit. It might as well be.
It really is. The Federal Reserve is a whole nother story. But
I know we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
New World Order.
So there's just so much shit on 9/11, but I don't want to like do all the talking here.
No,
but
I love
also,
listening.
did you guys know on September 10th what Donald Rumsfeld said to I think it was Congress or the nation? I don't know who he was addressing. But the day before September 11th, he said, according to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in defense spending.
Yes, sir.
You remember that? The
And where do you think it was?
In the Pentagon. No, that's what the part of the Pentagon that got attacked, hit by a plane, I think it was hit by a missile,
receipts for
was
3-point-something trillion.
The accounting offices where they were trying to find...
Flush it down the toilet. Don't send a missile into the fucking building that has the receipt for $3 trillion.
So they were trying to find... They hired all these
everybody take a lunch break around 10:15
yeah.
in part C of the Pentagon.
But what better way? So that's why what makes me think they knew about it. They're like, all right, shit. So Bin Laden's supposedly going to attack us on Tuesday, so... All right, on Monday.
What else do we got to get rid of?
On Monday, I'm going to talk to the nation about this $2.3 trillion they can't fucking find, and because tomorrow they'll fucking forget about it. You know what I mean? So they have all these ideas planned in their head. They're like, all right, we're going to use this, and we're going to get all this shit, you know? And it blows my mind. Like
it's fucked up,
It is fucked up. But
because, like, why wouldn't that be true?
Right. Exactly. And I also think like
that's why I don't vote.
Some rich people found out
it doesn't
too.
matter.
Like we were talking, you were saying last week about Larry Silverstein.
Yeah.
He's the owner of.
I thought you just looked at me and said that. I said,
no, I couldn't remember.
Wrong guy.
Right.
I said it began with an S.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name.
Wrong guy.
Yeah.
So he was the owner of the Twin Towers, and fucking once you know, he took out a $1 million insurance policy on the Twin Towers months before 9/11. And guess what was one of the clauses that it protected against? Terrorist attacks.
There you go.
So I think there was.
How do people get away with it though,
dude?
Because I guess who's gonna.
This isn't even half of it.
Right.
This isn't even half of it. It's insane.
What's the one that we used to watch? Loose Change.
Yeah.
The documentary Loose Change is so fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Michael Moore came out with too Fahrenheit 9/11. I don't like Michael
That's
Moore
weird.
though.
That's a different.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
He goes on a different angle
because like he did the first time I watched anything was Bowling for Columbine. And I was kind of young and I didn't really know what happened. I could just watch it though because I was scared. Like, oh shit, people came into schools with guns and shit.
Yeah.
So like, I liked him because of that. But like, even the shit he did in that movie where he took the kid in the wheelchair to like Walmart or whatever. He's like, oh, you sold the shotgun shells and shot me. Like,
he has an agenda. He has an agenda.
I didn't shoot you, dude. Like. But I don't know where I got with that. But like, yeah, Michael Moore. I don't know.
So one more thing, and then I'll shut up. All right.
Finally.
So you guys know how the stocks work, right? Like, if you think a company's going to do well, you take out stocks in fucking Apple, right?
And insider trading. If you know they're going to dump, they give you a tip.
If you know they're going to do bad, there's this thing called oh my god,
you can short them.
I'm drawing a blank.
The Big Short. But of course.
You take out a fucking, oh my god.
You short the stock. It's a loan against the stock.
Right, that you think it's
going to... Money guy, Rye.
You think they're going to do bad.
Jonah Hill.
The week before 9/11, there was a record high in shorts on American Airlines, U.S. Airways, and a bunch of the companies that were in the Twin Towers. Like, record highs of shorts taken out on those companies. People made billions of dollars off of 9/11.
Wow.
Because Dick Cheney was tipping everybody off. He's like, yo, guys, you're not going to believe this. I'm selling missiles to bin Laden. They're frauds. They ain't going to hit us, so don't you worry. I got to see that movie.
I can't wait to see that movie.
It looks good.
It's out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so much. It's like very heavy. It's so much because you're just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. But it makes sense. Like I said, some conspiracies make so much sense, and others are just like, no, absolutely not.
It's crazy.
It is fucking crazy. It's fucking sad. But then again, that's why I just live my life.
Right.
Tell a couple dick jokes here and there. We drink beers. We have fun. I mean,
call it a day.
What else are you supposed to do?
Also, like I said,
what am I supposed to do?
It kind of not justifies it, but it justifies your thinking in it. You're like, oh my god, this 9/11 happened. It had to be an inside job. So that's where people start researching it, and they find all these facts that you brought.
Yeah.
Right.
But
wild.
All right.
You want to do top 5?
Yeah, let me just pee real fast.
All right, yeah. So one more pee break, and then we're in the top 5.
You don't need to tell people.
How many introductions do we need?
A bunch, because Bert missed the first 18 minutes of the fucking show.
We're good.
Welcome back. Second pee break. We're back. Welcome back to the Garage with Evan and Friends. Follow us on the Podcast Garage on Instagram. Get us on any of your podcast medias. To my left, Mr. Ryan Rickus.
What's up? Oh, we're still done?
Coming back, yeah, because we don't know. Coming back for part Dukes, across from me, the conspiracy lady, Miss Whiteclaw herself, Lauren Coward. And finally, he shut his mouth and didn't say anything until I introduced him. Everybody, Dan. No. Dan, the conspiracy man's here.
Oh, I was holding my breath.
My old life partner, my new life partner. We're life partners.
I love you.
Partner.
It was the best 7 years of my life.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Let's get another 7, huh?
Yeah, let's try.
So our seven, Jesus Christ. Our top 5 today is, it sounds deep, but I told anybody if they start crying, I'm going to kick them out. So we'll see if we can keep this a little light. But we've been on like 2 back-to-back episodes, and we got some deep conversations. Usually me and Rye talk about sports and like
poop,
buttholes and shit. So like this is a little change of pace, and I like it. We started off 2019 with a bang. Happy New Year, everybody. It was like 9 days ago, but our top 5 today is fears. Now I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's super deep."
Slash anxieties.
Yeah, fears slash anxiety, anything like that. Now, it can get serious. I'll try to keep light of it, but like everybody is scared of something, and people get anxiety. I'll even throw stress in there, like because stress is. I mean, they're all huge things of, like, people's lives. Especially the older you get because you have more responsibility. When I was 21, people were like, oh, what are you scared of? I'm like, I'm not fucking stressed because I didn't have any responsibility. I didn't have anything. Right. It was only me, my parents. I was in my parents' house. They kind of, I mean, I had to fend for myself, but they still kind of took care of me. And you know what I mean? Like, for the most part. But, like, now when you're, like, 100% on your own, like, things, it's just.
You got to wipe your own ass.
But I wipe my own ass. So, like, our top 5 today is going to be fears / anxiety / stress, like, just...
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I don't know how this goes along with conspiracies. The reason it came with conspiracies is
serious.
It's serious shit.
And it's NWO stuff.
And it's NWO. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash.
Right, you're always afraid of Hulk Hogan.
Now, and what gave us the thought on it is because I guess I said something or I said something, and we had Bert Google. We were like, yo, what's the top fears in...
A couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
We were talking...
Like, what are people most afraid of? And we looked it up, and we were looking at them. So, Bert, I'm just going to read off the top 10, so you're going to have to scroll after I do them. So I'm just going to read off the top 10 just to give people an idea. It was just shit. I know people are scared of something, but, like, I'll read off 10. The top 10.
And this is just one random website.
What's this website? We have to give them credit if we're going to talk about it. What's it say at the top? Dan, can you get close to that website so we can at least give them credit?
It is
learningmind.com.
Learning-mind.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is all off learningmind.com, whatever. Learningmind.com. All right, so I'm going to give you the 10 most common fears of people. Number 10, the fear of getting old. We'll comment on these after.
Yeah.
Just so the fear of getting old. The fear of being poisoned is number 9. What the fuck? What is this shit? The 1800s?
That was all of Russia voted
fear
for that.
Of being number 8. The fear of being a coward. That's interesting.
What the fuck?
Germophobia is number 7. Okay, so people scared of getting sick. That makes sense. The fear of... All right, I'm going to read this one. Number 6. The fear of going crazy. It's a rather uncommon and steady fear, which is experienced by only those who think in abstract terms. Often, these are people who aspire to explore the spiritual world and cognizant the universe. You guys ever hear that word? They are often interested in religion, philosophy, and physics. These are the people who can give birth to brilliant ideas and even even if it initially may seem a little crazy.
So I think that's
popcorn Lauren.
Dude, hold on. Can I talk about last week real quick?
When you look at a bed. When you get a bed. When you're reading ahead, you're like, fuck, I don't know that word.
right before you're like, and popcorn.
Oh shit, he's definitely gonna fuck up this one. He's definitely gonna fuck up this. Dude, yeah, pronounce that one, motherfucker. I dare you. Photographer, you fucking idiot.
You said last week to Laura, you said, oh, that was a good, you did a good job presenting, or presentate or something. And I just heard Ryan fucking presentate. Or something like that.
Oh, shit.
Fucking dying.
Oh, my God.
I don't read that good, so.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, shit. Anyway. See, here's the thing, though.
I feel like fear of going crazy is people that are like it said, they think outside the box, so then they're like, you don't know what's going to happen next, and then you start putting stuff together, and then, like, they end up going crazy because...
Right. Well, there's some type of quote, I'm not going to be able to remember it, but it's just like, dumb people do better in life because they don't realize what can actually happen.
Right.
Smart people are the ones who get worried because they know... It's not the exact one, but it's something like that. Like, dumb people, not get further, but, like, they're not scared because they don't know. Right. Smart people worry about shit. They're like, oh, I know this can happen. I know this can happen. If you do this, you do that, blah, blah, blah. So
you start thinking about the new world order.
Right.
And you're like, who's controlling my mind now?
So that was number 6. I just had to read that. That was weird. The fear of going crazy. 5, the fear of insomnia.
Intimacy.
Gosh, that was an easy joke. The fear of intimacy.
Easy. I knew what it was.
Totally knew it.
Even though insomnia is scary. All right, number 4. The fear. All right, so they should just say like some type of creatures. You don't have to like literally
name them.
Name all of them. Fear of spiders, rats, cockroaches, snakes, airplanes, monsters, demons, mirrors, and high heels.
I'm terrified of high heels.
All right, hold on. I gotta read.
Hard to walk in.
Hold on. Yeah, so of course, but it's not a fear.
You ever get one up the ass?
Here we go. You want to see me stumble on another paragraph? The common point in all these phobias is that their roots lie in an undeveloped, imaginative type of thinking of those people who have been innate.
Popcorn Laura, I'll check in. Innate, imaginative intellect. Such fears and phobias affect people with an innate imaginative thinking and so-called sensitive nature, such as actors, artists, models, etc. These are people who think in images and emotions rather than logical terms.
Okay. But that still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Next.
The fear of... yeah, good call, Dan. Next. That doesn't make have to do with anything. All right, so this one, public speaking, number 3. Okay. Number 2, the fear of death. I mean, everybody's scared of dying, of course. The fear of loneliness.
Even people with autism who are characterized by complete isolation and antisocial behavior are afraid of complete solitude. The basis of this fear has to do with the fact that everyone aspires to be happy, but since initially humans are social animals, it implies that we can feel happy only when we are being a part of a society.
You know what? I don't know if I agree on that.
You mean you don't agree because you don't have the fear of loneliness, or you don't agree that this is a major fear for people?
I don't know.
Because I think it's a major fear for people.
Mike said this
whether
to me
they
last
realize
night.
it or not.
Are you afraid of being lonely? I'm like, no, I long to be alone. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but that's only because we're with people all the time, right?
Exactly.
Right. If you spent your whole fucking life in like complete isolation, that's why people in jail when they're putting they go nuts.
And I'll tell you why this is number 1, because when you look at people getting married, people staying with spouses that hit them, people do all that because they think that they can't get anything better. They stay with them because they don't want to be alone.
Bam. Yeah. That's a great.
So I think that's definitely at least up there. Maybe not.
They have
number
Stockholm
1,
syndrome.
Up there.
Boom. Remember that word?
Stockholm syndrome.
Fuck yeah, got him. All right, so that gives us a little bit. That kind of. See, my top 5 is not going to be in order, but like I can go off some of these. So we can do that. Like just kind of. Because some of mine are going to be like super like, when will that ever happen to you? It won't, but if it does, I'm going to die. Okay, nice. So who would like to start, Laura or Dan?
Ladies first.
All right,
nice.
Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Oh shit!
Mom checks in with the joke.
Got.
I love it. Ever since you said Jiffy Lube, she's been waiting to get back to you.
All right, my number. This is some of these are generally speaking, but I'll explain it. All right, so my number 5 fear is fear of not being prepared, especially in a natural disaster.
Oh, I thought you meant like bringing your binder to the podcast.
Well,
she also means
I also
that.
mean that. Especially being a mom, a lot of these fears are around being a mom, but I
can only imagine. Jesus Christ,
right?
Yeah.
I always feel like I have to prepare a day before, and I'm going to get into a situation where I'm not prepared or I don't have something. What am I going to do? Look to an adult, which I am, but I feel like I will always still look to an adult to help me. But definitely in a natural disaster.
And it's tough when you're that adult. Like if Evelyn was like, "Okay, what do we do now?" and you were like, "I don't know.
Let's look for somebody that can help us."
Like that's when you start realizing too, like,
I need to make the decision. I need to quickly make the decision.
And not even as a kid, like you won't realize.
And then you can say,
young.
"Girl."
Like your kids.
She's not Evelyn. It's girl.
Like your kids are young, but like you realize like, oh, nobody really has anything figured out. Like no matter how old you get, like you're just an older kid. Like obviously you know some shit. Like you know how to pay bills, you know this and shit. But like when it comes down to it, like we're all kind of just like we don't know what the fuck really is going
Everyone's
on.
Winging it.
Yeah.
Like there's no book written on like, oh, this is how you go through life. Like people can give you advice, but like really like,
and it's just,
if you're in a mall with your kids and all of a sudden like gunshots start ringing out, you're like, oh shit.
Right. And Mike and I talked about like if that happened, what would we do? We
like
have
that's
2
a national.
kids,
that's what you're kind of talking about, disaster,
just,
like something like that.
Yeah, it could just be like a
tsunami
shooter,
or fucking
or something like that. But just a general,
since we're in
really big tsunami,
New Jersey.
Yeah. No,
it swallowed all of New Jersey.
Well, Mother Nature's no fucking joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I think that's a common fear of parents because honestly, like I'm not too worried if a fucking tornado comes because all right, I'll figure it out, and if I don't, that's my fault. I'm dead. You know. You have kids to worry about. Like you have another life you have to prepare for.
That's another thing we have to bring up too. Like
and like, do you protect them or do you like Mike was saying last night? He's like, okay, if there's an active shooter in the
Mike's
her
husband,
right? And he's a cop. Like, okay, there's an active shooter. Do I address that, or do I protect my kids?
Do I protect my family, or do I do my oath? I mean,
family.
I don't know what his right. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what his.
And he's like, yeah, but I'll live with the guilt that I couldn't protect. Like, and I said,
trust me,
I'll get over it.
No, I said, if you're by yourself and I'm not there, find a mom. Find a mom.
Run with these 2 kids.
No, but give me your ID. That was actually his idea. Give me your ID so I have it. And if God forbid something happens to me, they'll find this random woman's ID and they'll try and chase.
Dude, could you fucking imagine though? Like, it sounds so simple, but there's no fucking way.
No.
That's a good top 5. But that's what I was gonna say.
You're also,
like, there's almost a whole nother category just for parents.
Right.
But you're also
really though
afraid to be prepared. Like when we used to DJ and we had to say something on the microphone, she would like type it up in the Word. Just figure it out. Just pull the microphone out. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No,
so it
needs to be there. I'm
and
not
you saw
a
last
fly
week
by the seat kind of person.
When she had the binder of stuff, it's not
highlighted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a prepared guy though, Rick.
I mean, my shit's written down.
Yeah, because me and Dan aren't.
But you're also
me
and Dan are so on the fly.
Too.
Right. I'm
probably
not,
why
I'm
we stutter a lot.
Me and Dan are totally on the fly.
Oh, man.
So speaking of Dan.
Okay. My number 5 is pretty serious as well. Quicksand.
Quicksand is scary mother.
Cricket. No,
because I didn't even think it exists. I thought it was just something when I was a kid. It was a fairy tale.
Right. This was more of when I was young, and I know there's a meme that came out.
You talking about quicksand on the field or quicksand?
I like it. But I swear I said this to Evan before this fucking meme came out, and
it's so funny.
The meme says like, I don't know. When I was younger, I thought quicksand was going to be a lot bigger fucking problem, and I did.
I thought quicksand was going to be a way bigger problem when I got older.
Every fucking cartoon I watched had quicksand in it, and I always was like, "Fuck, I gotta watch my step."
Dude,
everywhere I go.
I'm telling you,
Jesus,
dude, that's so funny.
I mean, I haven't faced it yet, thank God.
Thank God.
I think it's only out in Nevada. Like, where the fuck is there quicksand?
I mean, I think quicksand you could survive. Like in the cartoons, you just fucking sink and die. But I think I could probably get out.
I think you're just supposed to like lean back or something like that, and kick your feet up.
Yeah,
and then you sit.
Do
on
the
top
walk
of it.
away.
I don't know.
Rock away.
Lean back.
Lean back. I got it.
Yeah,
I got
it.
Yeah.
A bear
so
trap
that's
would be scary.
my number 5, quicksand. I'm not a parent. If you guys didn't realize.
So I'm worried about myself.
Laura is the only parent here.
My number 5 is the ocean.
Ooh.
Just in general, huh?
Couple things. First off, the ones that affect you. One, when you're walking out into the ocean, and then all of a sudden you're like in a wave or whatever, and then you can't touch the ground.
Undertow.
And you're like, oh shit! Where the hell's the ocean at?
That's the undertow, right?
Floor at.
The current.
I mean, if it pulls you out, I guess.
Sure.
And also, especially on this coast, the ocean is so dark. Where like you're in there again. We're on a coast. We're walking around, so there's nothing crazy. But like when you get further out, you can't see shit. You don't know what's going on down there.
Ooh.
There's crazy stuff down there. I've seen videos where they show ocean floors and nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden something pops out and fucking grabs this and grabs that, and you're like, where the did that come from?
Open water is really scary. I went snorkeling when I was in Australia, and they went to the Great Barrier Reef and went to the inner reef, and you could see like land around you, so it was like cool, you saw these fish.
Right.
And then when you went to the open outer reef and you looked under the water, and there were these big fucking fish and no land. That's really scary.
And
big
like,
fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish.
Like there's so many things that can kill you in an instant, and you can't.
Oh, dude, those
you
coral.
can swim.
Yeah.
Boom, dead.
Jellyfish, like fucking jellyfish? Are you kidding me?
Dude, jellyfish. There's a jellyfish that's
in my neighborhood that everyone's just petrified.
It's the size. It's the size of your fucking pinky.
You're not allowed to be in the water unless you had a full suit on.
You can't even feel it sting you, and you'll just die.
Yeah.
How about the fucking frogs that are so cute and blue, and the next thing you know, boom, dead.
Right. But at the same time, you get plenty of great things from the ocean.
No, for sure. I didn't say that the ocean should go away.
In between your toes.
I just said I don't really dig the ocean. Ocean.
Clams Casino, shrimp, bubblegum shrimp.
My number 5 is
popcorn shrimp.
All right, so we were just talking about. I'm not a parent yet, but I can only imagine. So like, this is going to be very general, but like I was talking about it. Like, I'm close to having kids. Like, I'll be having them in the future, but like, kids, like, just everything that comes with them. It's just like Jesus Christ. Like, I'm already like just a mess myself. You know what I mean?
Like messing up your kids. Like just making the wrong decision.
There's just there's so much that goes in it because like
you just don't know.
Like even if you're doing everything right and your kid just turns out to be like not like a loose cannon, but like they hate you or like something and
or
like
a piece of shit and
like what if your kid becomes like a complete turd? You're just like, oh no, like is it me?
What did I do? Right?
Is it me? Or,
oh no!
But like there's just so much like being like having to be responsible.
For other people.
For other people. Like, I'm responsible. I'm not responsible. I mean, Chelsea's a grown-up, too, but, like, I at least have her that I have to worry about, too, like, all the time, 24/7.
But she can also worry about herself.
But she can still do herself also. But, like, I'm just sitting there, like, thinking. Because what I think about is, like, all the shit that I did and I, like, got away with or I survived. I'm like, oh, okay, well. But then if I picture, like, a younger kid doing it, too, I'm like, oh, he's not going to make it through that.
Right.
He ain't going to land on his feet like me.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm Jack Nicholson.
Got the Mickey Mantle gene.
Yeah, I got the Mickey Mantle gene.
Hey, maybe you'll pass that down.
He ain't got that.
Maybe you'll pass it down.
I got the Mickey Mantle gene. But anyway, so I'm not there yet, but like it is a fear. I want to be a parent. I can't wait to have kids and shit, but yeah, it's definitely scary. My number 5 is definitely kids or being a parent, whatever the fucking whatever. I'll come back to this this top 5 again in 2 years and be like, oh shit, let me tell you. I was right. I had diarrhea in my mouth week 2. It looked like fucking tar.
Which it does. Newborn poop looks like tar.
Yeah, well, I'm 27 and it still looks like that.
Number 4.
That's a problem. Number 4.
Black tar.
Heron.
This is, again, general, but this is also me. I have a fear of, like, the uncertainty or the unknown. So, like, if I've never... This is such a loser thing of quality of
No, that's good.
But if I've never been somewhere or, like... I don't know what's going to happen. This is more not necessarily a fear, more like an anxiety. Mm-hmm. Like the day before.
It's definitely anxiety. Yes.
Okay, it's anxiety. Not really. I don't think about it all the time. Like what's going to happen tomorrow.
Everybody here has definitely gotten it. Everyone's palms are sweating. You talking about this?
So like
shit.
Before the first day of college, like I went.
Oh yeah.
Where do I go?
Well, what's I did a practice run like that Sunday night, and I was like, okay, so this is my first class. I'm going to this building. And I like went up to the door, and like I just want to know what's coming. So like I did a mud run, and I like as I'm like in the middle of a mud run, I'm like asking people that are already past me. I'm like, what's the next obstacle? Like I want to know.
And
what's
like,
happening.
Go find out. Shut up.
I know. That's the thrill of a mud run.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to know.
It's not gonna be machine guns where you're gonna have to be ready for it. Like there'll be a wall.
It's a wall.
You're not gonna believe you're gonna have to dodge the sniper up ahead.
I just want to know what's happening ahead of time, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I do this to Evelyn. I prep her for everything. I'm like, we're going to the doctors. She's going to do this. This isn't.
It'll also come with the prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
Your 5, the prepared, where it's kind of it's a similar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you also have to be able to just roll with the punches and do shit on the fly too. So like, you have to be able to
feel that adversity and to
being
deal
prepared
with it as it comes.
Being prepared is got to be better than being unprepared.
Right.
So that's good.
Right.
But like.
so good job on that.
So good job on that. But what I'm just saying is like I'm usually never prepared. I'm just like you kind of have to be able to figure it out too on the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's
my mom's like that, and it drives me nuts. Like watching a movie, and she'll be like, "What happens next?" I'm like, "Just fucking watch it."
Oh
dude.
my
like,
God!
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're gonna find out in 30 seconds.
Chelsea be like,
just wait.
Oh my God, does he die? I'm like, Chelsea, I haven't seen this either. Like, do you want me to fast forward it and tell you to close your eyes?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you think he dies, right? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Number 4, Dan.
Number 4, getting eaten by a shark.
So ocean.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but if you
raise
guys
your hand if you want to be eaten by a shark.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nobody. Bert, take the camera off.
I think it's just the way you said it, maybe, that I laughed.
But for real, I think when I was probably like 10 or 11, I had a dream, and my brother was eaten by a shark, and I was trying to save him, and I don't know why. I always remember that dream, and I'm still to this day terrified. Can you just imagine being in the water and a fucking shark's mouth open up right in front of you?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So my number 5 was the ocean. So
right. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going with. Number 4.
Yeah. I don't want to be eaten by a shark. You were like kind of jabbing at my ocean.
Nah, I was just
because I thought it was
around.
I was like, oh, maybe it was too broad. You're right. But specifically being eaten by a shark.
Just the sharks, really, is what's scary.
I get stung by a jellyfish.
You should have said
Whatever.
dying in the ocean, not the ocean.
True. My number 4 is any type of extreme pain. So
Ooh.
I wouldn't like to be eaten by a shark.
Right.
But I
Give
could
birth?
never like.
You wouldn't want to give birth, maybe?
I wouldn't want to give birth.
Wow.
But like I never was one to like do BMX biking or skateboarding or something like that, because I would see videos of people's shattering their arms or their ribs or their ankles or something like that, or getting something jabbed into their. I said extreme pain in case you want to catch up. Or like getting something jabbed through your stomach or getting shot or something like that. It's doesn't seem like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Like the awkward.
Did you ever break a bone, and did you experience any extreme pain in your life?
That's why he's scared of it.
He's the fucking bubble boy over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the worst thing that's pain-wise? Have you ever experienced?
Just like
Bellyache.
I stepped on a
like
thumbtack.
high ankle sprains.
high ankle sprain?
That's it.
Bellyache.
I did have some bad bellyache.
A sore throat?
I had a stomach virus when I was
Bad
12, and
bellyache.
I couldn't. I just couldn't.
I slept for 3 days.
No, like when you see people like the fucking we just seen the dude on the Cowboys whose fucking foot was
my
turned
God.
around the other day.
Robin, what's Alan
Bert
Hearn.
was sitting there. It was me, Bert, and Chelsea on the couch. We're like, "What's up with this dude? You got a boot?" And all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh shit, his ankle was backwards."
Yeah. I seen it and I was like,
and he's a 300-pound man, just like, "Oh shit."
well, he's a wide receiver, right? So,
I don't fucking know.
like
but I seen it. I was like, is his foot backwards? Like, imagine. And he went to the sideline. He's got tears running down his face.
Yeah.
Like, imagine
So
the pain
much,
he
though,
was
like,
in.
the pain, all the work he put in, like.
Well, yeah,
done.
it's more than just that. But
Yeah, come
go
over
ahead,
to the mic.
Bert. Yeah, Bert's got a. Well, they can't hear you on this. You
Oh,
put
dude,
your leg
that
through a
what?
storefront
Oh,
window.
yeah.
Bert kicked a. Yeah, Bert
Dude, those
kicked through a
pictures-
window.
those pictures I saw are.
Right, you didn't feel it. You go into complete shock. Right.
Do you have a picture
But
of
then-
that still?
You're probably in a lot of pain
send me that
afterwards.
picture
Still,
and I'll-
like it's. Either way, it would suck.
His skin was like hanging off his bone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
It looked like a wing uneaten.
What was that show?
See, it's
on,
hard for me to even
on
fucking look at
MTV.
So you're not-
Scarred.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
show? That show was hard
So
to watch.
like you're not good with like shit like that when like
No, blood and stuff like I'm fine with. Like it's not like
I don't know that
I can't
NCO9
give blood or
tattoo. You
something
were
like
like
that.
kind of going lightheaded.
you weren't even in the room.
Yeah, it was. I was right
Right?
next to Doug. You were going lightheaded. You were laying on the bed. You were like, oh shit. You were like passing out and shit, getting that tattoo. I was like, oh damn. I was like, yo, he gonna
I
need
was
some
dead.
milk. Get him some water. He was all lightheaded and shit. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not you.
Shrimp pain.
Yeah, number 4, Evan.
This one's very aggressive, but like kind of I do it so I know it can happen, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try to change it and shit. But like, I text a lot when I drive.
Ooh, fuck.
It's not good.
It's
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, sometimes all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like you just look up, you're like,
Did I just
how
run that
did I
red light?
just make it?
Crash.
Did I just go through a red light? Is there somebody on
Yeah.
the top of my car?
Yeah.
Did I start out in the middle lane?
And I say that like for like to be exaggerating, just so like the joke's funnier. But like I'll probably look down for like 4 seconds sometimes.
Right. Which is a long
Dude.
time in the
It's
car.
a
Yeah.
long fucking time when you're going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. You guys used to make fun of me all the time for how I texted and drive, and I've been in 2 accidents in the past month. Because my fault, completely staring at my phone, just ran right into the dude in front of me.
Right.
Airbag went out. I was fucked up. Like,
Oh yeah, you're the Highlander. Right?
Yeah.
I seen that picture.
so I mean,
And then we go back to the day on Pomona.
oh Jesus,
I
got
Right, and
I got my own telephone pole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, Dano.
Yep.
But here's
And
the
that's-
thing. Here's the thing. You've been in an accident and you continue to do it. No, I'm not. You know, I'm just saying. So it's
Yeah.
like that hard to
Right,
stop
yeah.
doing.
Yep.
And that's what's good about
Like, you'll
like
get
new
that text, you're like-
technology, where
So your fear
it'll
is-
now play through the. Like my car, I can press listen and it'll play through the shit, and then I know
Yeah.
I don't have to text back because somebody just said yeah or something like that. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to look down.
That's the problem. Looking at it. And
So I think as I'm getting shown Bert's leg. Ooh,
let me
cut
see.
it or sew it back up. They didn't cut it open. They
cut it all the way open for.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's crazy.
Ew.
And Rye's gone.
No. I'm fine.
Rye passed out.
I'm fine with blood. I don't want to be the one doing that.
Oh fuck no! Can you imagine being a doctor?
That's where I'm at. No, and again,
that's my phone.
I'm fine with all that. What you guys don't understand is I'm worried about
Going
the
through
extreme
the pain.
He doesn't want to feel it himself.
not the blood.
Okay.
Jesus.
Can you be around it?
That's why he still
Be
doesn't have a
around people
tattoo.
in pain.
But yeah, texting and driving is just like sometimes you're just like, oh my god, Ev, get your shit together, dude. Like,
So the fear of getting in the accident because of something that you could have
because so
changed.
much can go wrong, and
Yeah.
you're just like, come on, man,
Right.
get your fucking shit together.
Yeah.
And it's even something stupid too, like changing songs. Like I'll scroll through like 6-7 songs
Yeah.
for going in, and all of a sudden I'm like, it's the same fucking thing, idiot. What are you
Right.
doing?
Laura,
Siri
number
change
3?
song.
Number 3. This is super general, but when I give examples, you're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense. Fear, and this is just the way I worded it. Fear of uncontrollable event that negatively affects your life. Here's what I mean.
Jesus,
Cancer.
Christ.
I know. This is a lot, but this
That's
could
good.
be like uncontrollable event. You're doing the right thing. You had one beer. You're like, I'm fine to drive. You're fine. You drive.
You're driving and Ev runs into you.
Exactly.
With
Get
his
an
texting.
accident, DUI, your life's over.
Yeah.
You're. This could be anything.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
any-
I'm gonna relate to
any-
you when you come back around. I have
Any
something.
event that you are trying to do the right thing, or you're just living your life, and all of a sudden you're in a situation where you're in jail.
Does anybody have anything that goes?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Or
Like-
or
Because
you're
I'm
triple,
gonna,
like you said,
I'll
if
skip
you got
these
hit
two
by
and go with her.
a drunk driver or something
Oh
like
my
that, you weren't
God.
doing anything
Right,
wrong,
right,
and now I
right.
can't walk.
Right. An uncontrollable event. You're just living your life, and something happens, and
It's not a
now all of a sudden
Like,
You want
I'm-
to do yours, Ev?
yeah.
to
I'm gonna.
kinda
I'll
relate?
skip you guys because I can kind of relate. I don't know what number. Like mine aren't really in order. I'm just kind of saying 5. I'm not really scared. Like I don't think about it often of like the uncontrollable event, but it's scary to think that that can happen. So like, what freaks me out? You said something about prison. Like I would. Prison is frightening, obviously,
right.
but I'm not like a bad person or a criminal. So
Right.
like I don't fear going to prison as much as like, all right, eventually I'm gonna get caught.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in prison, so let me try to prepare for it. Like going to prison when you didn't fucking do anything.
Ooh,
you know what I
being
mean?
wrongly
Like,
convicted.
Right.
but like even
The night of.
no, even if I
Wrongly
was,
convicted.
even if I did do something, but I'm not a bad person.
Yes. So like you.
I accidentally hit somebody while I was
Yeah,
texting, or
yeah.
like say I got in a fight. Like I'm not a fighter, but like say I got in a fight and I just
accidentally killed him.
I punched this dude in the face because like we were fighting, like something happened, and say I fucking killed him with a punch.
Right, or he
You're just
fell,
like-
hit his
He
head.
fell, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He
Right,
fell and hit his
yes,
head.
yes, he
and
fell,
next thing you know,
hit
like
him,
I
and he
didn't
dies.
do anything wrong for
Yes.
27 years of my life, and I punched this dude in the fucking face
And he
because
falls
whatever
and cries.
happened,
Yes.
and he split his fucking
He
head
said
open.
something to Chelsea. You
Right.
Punched him.
And then I
yeah.
was like, you know, blah blah, fuck all. Oh, beat your ass, man.
And he dies.
But anyway, like all of a
Or
sudden he
like
splits his head
Ozark.
open.
Does anyone watch?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Accidental. Like he just happens to have that. You
And
know,
then all of
come
a sudden-
upon him, and then
There's a movie. This is a good recommendation called Shot Caller, and it's a movie about a guy. Has anybody seen it?
No.
None of you seen it? So it's called Shot Caller, and it's a movie about a guy, super button up, whatever, office job type deal, whatever, and he's out with his wife and his just a couple, just they're out to dinner, whatever, and they're having drinks, you know, typical dinner night. I wouldn't say he was fucked up or anything, but he had a couple drinks, so like if you were to get pulled over, it's probably enough. Either way, I'm not exactly sure if he blows the red light because they're all sitting there laughing and talking, or the other person blows. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because he hit the other person. The person in the other car died, and he was the one driving, and he has alcohol in his system, and it's above the legal amount. So this blue collar guy, this isn't going to be any spoilers. I'm not going to ruin this because this is a good fucking movie if anybody watches it. And he gets sent to prison, this random dude, and he's just a fucking dorky white dude. You seen it, Bert? It's fucking banging, right? Dude. So he goes to prison, and you just have to adapt with bring
Right,
it up. It up. I mean, we're done with that just so they can see it. But and you have to adapt with the life in prison.
It's the night of.
Oh,
the
that's a
show
good
The Night
show.
Of, one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
The Night Of. It's called Shot Caller. So you literally get sent to prison for I mean, he did it, but it's like something like
you're a good guy. You're a good person.
Then all of a sudden, once you're institutionalized and you turn into this fucking animal just to survive and shit, it's like, it's scary, dude. Like,
Dan, number 3.
I don't know what my 3 was, but whatever. That was something. I talked about something.
Okay, my number 3. It was on this list. Death. Now, I'm not afraid of.
Specifically by shark.
Death by shark.
So I'm not like afraid of actually dying. I'm afraid of what happens after you die.
Fear of the unknown. Yep.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know. I've had this thought. Like I was a fucking weird kid, I guess.
Everybody thinks about what happens when they die.
Yeah, but I got like super obsessed with it.
Here's why I was weird though.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I was so obsessed with what happened after you died, and like it terrified me, and like I literally like made it a huge deal, and like my parents and my brothers and sisters like all were trying to like, hey, what's going on? Like you'll be all right. I was like a little fucking kid. I was like 8, 9 years old.
Really?
And I was so like terrified of what happens after you die, and. Like, I'm still, I just don't think about it anymore because it would freak me the fuck out. But, like, if you really do think about it, like, how long is, like, infinity? Like, how long is forever? Like, you're dead forever.
Well, they say infinity is so much that there's another Dan doing exactly what you're doing right now somewhere else in the world.
Right. But
that's what infinity is.
But, like, once you die, like...
Not in the world, like U.S., but, like, somewhere else.
You're dead forever. Like, I don't know, maybe... I'll live another life, like, and I won't
maybe
remember this one.
Exists,
but
so the world's full of dead people, compact, and all that shit. But like,
it's weird to think about.
It's real fucking weird.
So. My number 3 is a grown-up one, I guess.
Taxes.
Full on. Maybe you might be able to throw that in this one. Full on identity theft. So.
Oh.
Like all of your information. No, you can laugh. Go ahead.
No. I was
all your information is out there.
Jason Bateman and the Melissa McCarthy.
No,
yeah, I guess.
I was thinking if it happened to me, I'd be like, no takebacks. Sucker,
burnt, got him. Let me get your identity.
Swap. But like,
oh shit!
All of your information is out there. If somebody like were to take it, not only. I'm not talking about, like, opening up credit cards in your name and buying a TV with it.
Well, that happened to Dad.
Did it?
That he got pulled over, this is years ago, but he got pulled over for a supposed hit and run. And they ran his shit, and it came back to a Rob Rickus.
Oh, my God.
And they were like, okay, you have multiple warrants out for your arrest. They arrested him, took him in, and when they fingerprinted him, it ended up being like his, and Dad was saying, like, no, I have a cousin.
Imagine if they were like, "Yo, okay, do me a favor, go sit next to."
Like, I ref basketball. And
all I do.
I make socks and ref basketball. What the hell?
Like, make socks.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if you could never prove it.
Right.
Like, there was a story about a guy whose doppelganger, they said, committed like some murders and shit like that, and he sat in jail for 20 years.
Fuck that.
Like, because he couldn't prove.
That it wasn't him.
I promise you I wasn't that guy. And they're like, yeah, good one.
Right. The only reason they were able to let him go was because
DNA.
I guess, right, fingerprints came back, and the real bad Rob Rickus, I guess, was fingerprinted before, so they were able to match up that it was different. But had he not,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, could you imagine? Like,
you can't prove it.
I guess maybe that was my 3. Like, wrong. Now, because I said if you punch somebody, you actually.
Yeah, right.
But being a good person and something bad happening, that was my bad. I can't believe it just went backwards.
Fear of uncontrollable event that negatively affects your life.
But still,
that's just a fortune cookie.
It's a huge umbrella.
Just the not being able to prove who you are, and either having something bad happen or not being able to. You know, you go on a trip to Italy and you can't get back in the country because
oh my god,
they're
like abroad.
Holy
shit!
What the fuck do I do? I can only
could
tell you I'm me. I can't. How do I prove it to you?
Could you imagine being stuck in Mexico?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and not being able to figure out.
And the U.S. being like, yo, I can't get you right now. You'd be like, bitch.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't get you because we don't.
I just paid $110 to get this passport expedited. Come fucking get me. I didn't do shit.
We don't think you're you.
All right, I didn't do dick.
We think Ryan Rickus is already in this country.
Ask the killer if he has a tattoo of his mother on his side, because
there you go.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Number 3, full-on identity theft. Number 2, Ev. No.
Laura. Two.
Because he would have went number 3.
Yeah.
The one that.
My kids becoming involved in drugs.
Mm.
Not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to try this and that. Just getting caught up with the wrong crowd. Being persuaded to try it. Or, they're prescribed painkillers for an injury and all of a sudden they're hooked. That's my biggest fear. They're like, they're an athlete and then they get hurt and then they get
That's the whole parent umbrella is like a whole different thing.
That's so specific because that is
too
that
common.
would be so tough to get back from.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
I'm not a parent, but like I can just like.
But it also kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Ev, in terms of like, did you do something to create,
and
like,
I know.
I think that makes it worse where it's like
you can't control.
Was it
right.
me?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're saying.
And you're like, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see how it happened.
If it's something like they're in the hospital for an injury, and they get prescribed something, and
that's why weed needs to become legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Start a campaign. Dan.
Weed 2019.
Weed running for president.
Number 2.
Dan, number 2.
Yeah, this sucks. The dark. I don't know.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Not really.
You want to go ahead and change that, or?
All right. Well, but like, what about the dark? Like, not.
You want to go ahead and change your answer, or?
Not seeing it.
I'd rather just.
Yeah, it was a number 2. He didn't slide it into number 5. It was number 2. It won over dying by a shark or something like that.
My fear of death is bad, but let me tell you, the dark. Come on, man.
It's average. It's average.
In the dark, like when you're trying to come up the stairs from the basement, because I run fast as shit.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
So like,
When someone's gonna grab your foot.
Yeah.
Explain why.
All right. So like,
This got in your list.
have you ever been in like a house like that?
The nursing home.
Right, like that you're not familiar with, and it just, say the lights went out or the power went out, and you're just stuck in, you can't see a fucking thing. And like, where do murderers always hide? In the dark.
And they're good at it.
And they are.
According to movies. So we were talking about this on another podcast where you fuck yourself up. Right. You're like, there's a dude right behind me, isn't there? Right. And then like you're like scared to turn around. You're like, why did I just think of that? Yeah. Like, what if I shut the door to this fridge and there's a dude standing there with a knife? And then you're scared to shut the fridge, and you're like, oh, fuck, why did I think of that? Then you shut it, and you're like, obviously there's no one there.
Right.
Because it would have been amazing if they got into the house and hid behind the fridge while you were just getting out a piece of...
Which is strange, though. It's strange that this is my number 2, because I love closing my eyes. And that's the darkest you'll ever get.
This motherfucker don't know what the fuck he's talking about right now. He is lost, and
Dan's gonna text. Dan's gonna text in his actual top 5 after this episode.
He's lost. He's high on Skittles right now. He's all over. He's had
Take the Skittles away.
He's had too much sugar. He's confused.
Ryan, number 2.
We're gonna move off from that.
What the? I love closing my eyes. I'll talk to you later.
Like to sleep or just in general?
Taking naps all day.
I want the blinds closed. I want it dark in my room.
Yeah, exactly.
But not too dark.
Not too dark. I want to see the murderers.
I gotta see the murderers. Oh, I'm so confused, man.
All right, my number 2 is it's a little out there, I guess, but my number 3 kind of was too. So, a technological collapse. Cell phones, internet, electricity.
That's good. That's a good one.
But that's like a real thing that can happen.
It all goes out.
Yep.
What happens now?
That's like a new, like, warfare is like technical.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah. What'd you say, Bert? There's a show?
Like the power grid
Revolution?
just like going out and
everything is updated.
Yeah.
Right, because they're saying
everything runs
they're
off
say,
fucking
technology.
internet.
It's great that everything's paperless now, but like if the grid was to shut down, how do we get anything back? Like people, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't affect me because I have like $200 on my debit card, but like I'll never get that back if it goes down.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They were like, well, we didn't know that you had $200. Let me see the last statement that you had. Did you print it out?
So
right.
No, because it's online
phone.
statement, so
now
that's why.
Now, if the grid goes down, this is just a question for everybody. The grid goes down. Everybody.
What's the first thing you do?
Well, here's the thing. Now, as the
Hide in
grid,
the dark.
now as the grid, does that mean like just all power or just tech?
That's what I'm saying.
Technology.
I'm saying a full technological collapse. So the satellites stop working for GPS. And
But
cell
do we have
phones.
like lights in our homes and
We
shit?
lost electricity.
No
So,
refrigerator.
so
Everything,
basically,
It's the end of the
Everything.
world.
It's everything.
it's basically everybody.
We're back
needs
to the 1800s.
basically, can people survive? So all your fridges are out and shit. So you're eating.
I hope you got a fireplace.
So you're eating fucking canned beans and whatever and shit. How long can people survive?
People
And
panic. People panic when they say there's like 3 inches of snow coming.
Exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying. So
I
how
can't
long until
imagine.
people start freaking out and then you have to start dealing with
30
people?
fucking
And you gotta
seconds.
start
Because-
fucking killing people.
Because all right, it will get dark. Hopefully you have some candles. You can figure out light. The heat.
Food.
It depends what time of the year. If it's the winter, your house will get cold. But if you're inside,
Right.
at
Don't
least you're
open stuff
inside.
up
At least you're inside. It'll
It
be
won't
cold.
get to
Put on a
negative
fucking
20.
hoodie and you have a blanket. It's not like you're gonna have like
Yeah.
rain and snow on you. Dealing with people will be your first issue, I think, because
Yeah.
people are gonna be like knocking on your door, like, "Yo, you got any extra water?" Like, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
pussy!
yeah.
Get out of here, pussy! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm just gonna roll this
Here we
into
go.
2 because I don't really have it. How about
F
because
came totally unprepared for this.
Totally
He's just
unprepared.
stealing everyone else's.
well, no, I'm gonna roll
I'm
into
gonna
this.
piggyback off of
Yeah,
him.
no, seriously, I'm gonna roll into this. What if the purge was real?
All right, that was my number 6.
I would love that.
That was my number 6.
The Purge becomes
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm
real?
saying so like.
The Purge / zombies, just humans versus humans.
Well, that's what I'm
hysteria.
getting at. So now, if the
Yeah.
grid went down, I feel like humans versus humans would be the first
For
thing.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
people be like,
That's what
"Yo,"
you're-
because
right.
people be like, "Yo, I need shit."
And I have a gun.
Do you have
or
any-
What are they going to do to
Now,
get
here's the
it?
thing. So if the electricity's out, you probably don't have running water. I don't know. Maybe the water starts getting dirty, so you might not be able to
Yeah.
drink water out of your sink, or you might not be able to. Well, you can shower with dirty water, kind of. That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
showering.
I'm more worried about
Yeah.
drinking water.
Right.
than-
But, right, drinking water. So you better have bottles of water in your house and shit like that.
I
Batteries.
don't shower with clean water.
So like people with batteries and shit. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like you'll have to start because your neighbor will start knocking on your door, like, "Yo, you got this?" And you'll be like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here."
And guess what you can't
Your
do?
alarm system's not going to work anymore.
Guess what you can't do?
Right.
Google how to figure out what to
Right.
do in a disaster.
So this is when it
So
comes.
you better
to,
got it up in
now,
your
all
noggin.
those weirdos who are like, "Yo, I have guns and shit." Like, you don't need that many guns, but like, it'd be nice to have 1 or 2 just for like,
yeah.
"Yo, back the fuck up."
Right.
Yo, back the fuck up.
Antonio.
Or I need this. I have
That's-
kids, and we need this. So I'm going to go get it with this gun.
Right,
or
because then
whatever.
because then people.
'Cause my neighbor's old.
Like I
and
said, so the
I'm gonna hit her
purge.
in the head with
So
it.
the purge. People are the ones who start getting
Yes.
weird. So I'm gonna have to start
The
blocking my
Purge is
windows.
super scary.
I'm gonna have to start blocking my windows. Locks are only good because I mean, a lot of locks or with like doors and like windows, they have glass around them. If I want to get in your house, I'll get in your fucking house.
Yeah.
It's just when are the cops gonna come? But when the purge is going on or anything like that, they ain't coming. So
Or-
what are you gonna do when I want to come in your house? Is when it starts getting weird.
And if you're saying, well, the purge just wouldn't be legal, and then the cops would be able to come. Well, what if I'm breaking into your house, he's breaking into the neighbor's house, Dan's breaking into the neighbor's
Yeah, but
house?
how about this?
Then they can't come to stop all of us.
Everything's done. Those cops have families too because they're only
Right.
people. So they
Right.
have to go back home and shit.
Yeah, I sure as hell I'm not letting Mike walk out the door to save Cinnamon.
For the most
when
Right.
going on.
Well, here's
Like,
the thing, yeah.
no.
But for the most part, a lot of the cops would probably bring people to the police station because that's a safe spot. So, all right, everyone grab their family. So the cops might be all right bringing their families there. But, like, as people, no, you're going to be sitting there with a kitchen knife, eating, like, baked beans, waiting for, like, all right, what's going on? You have no idea. There's no TV. You have no idea when the lights are coming back on. Your refrigerator, you got cheese and shit and starting to grow hair after a week.
You gonna eat it anyway?
You ain't eating it.
I'm gonna eat it.
I'm going to wing it
Lord.
at someone's face.
Lord, number 1.
The purge is scary.
Yeah, that was my number 6. Number 1 is something happened to my kids or Mike,
Right.
my family.
Family.
Of course. I mean,
I'm very when I'm at the store with my kids by myself. I'm looking at other people before I'm actually shopping. I'm super scared of kidnapped. I've seen
have you ever seen
videos.
the movie Prisoners? The movie Prisoners?
No, doesn't involve kids being kidnapped.
Yeah, don't watch it.
All right,
Yeah.
then
It's
no.
literally
Oh wait. Oh, with
Hugh Jackman, one of my favorite actors, episode 4.
With Wolverine.
I thought what's the movie with Halle Berry and her son gets.
No, that has
taken?
nothing. It's not even comparable to Prisoners.
Oh, what is that movie though?
Gone, baby, gone.
No,
it's
that's
like
a
a
good movie.
recent. Yes, yeah.
Nailed
It's
it.
a
I
recent
know,
one
I know what you're talking about.
where her kid
Oh,
gets
Gothica.
taken. No, her kid gets taken.
Monsters Ball.
And she,
Make me feel good.
anyway, listeners, you know what I'm talking about.
Catwoman?
I swore I would never see it because it's her kid gets taken.
Yeah, Prisoners is the shit if you want to watch a kidnapping kid movie.
I've seen. No, I don't want to.
if you're looking for a kidnapping movie,
my number one fear. Yeah, let's watch a video
That's
of
a
my
great
number
movie.
one fear.
So I'm a piggyback, unless you guys are
ahead.
going to piggyback.
I mean, we've been bouncing around anyway.
Mine number one is similar in terms of it's just death to others. Like it would be my family and friends and stuff like that. Like obviously I don't have kids, so I can't say my kids or my wife because that doesn't exist.
Right.
But it's along the same lines, especially if it's not of like old age where like something happened.
Sure.
You're like, what the fuck happened? Why did it happen? All that kind of stuff. You start beating yourself up about stuff that you had nothing to do with. And
it's like another uncontrollable thing, but it's just like
right. I always think that, especially when I'm out in the store, that someone's gonna.
Well, that's what you're
try
saying.
And take
all
my
your
kids.
shit is like under the parent umbrella.
Right.
You need to be prepared. Catastrophic shit. Your kids, obviously. Like,
right.
If your kids weren't number one, I'd be like, guys,
she's the mom, right?
Guys. She didn't like my Pornhub joke, but like her kids aren't number one on her list.
Someone called Dyfus.
Damn.
But that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I can't say. But like we're talking about our fears, but like you have to live your life too.
Right.
You
but
can't
also
live in fear. It's just like those things you think about. Like you can't sit there and think about dying.
Right.
Right.
You'll go fucking nuts.
Right.
Like if somebody was to come up to you right now and be like, "I can give you the date you're gonna die," would you want to know?
I thought about that.
Negative.
No.
No.
I don't know.
no. But I'm
It's
gonna go
going to
back
affect
to
you because it's going to be Final Fantasy shit
My
or
fear.
Final Destination shit.
I'm also like super. I can get super emotional. So like
You
if you guys were to die, well I hide it well.
Yeah.
If you guys were to die, I'd be like, I'd have to lock myself in the house for fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I hear you.
When Bear dies, I'm not gonna be able to talk to anybody
Oh,
for
Jesus
a fucking
Christ,
month and a
dude.
half.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
that's
put
why
down
it's my one
my two
fear.
dogs, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, you're like I don't want to talk to
Like,
anybody ever again.
It's the same thing.
Ever
It's
again.
all three of us, yeah. Sammy, fucking Bear, Lana. I'm dead.
Right.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
So imagine when it's a human.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's
like
Well,
yes,
that's know what bothers me the
pets,
most?
yes, but
That's what bothers me the most when people are like, oh, a person dying is one thing, but when an animal dies, I'm like, no. Because
that's why I wanted to say the animal, because if I'm gonna be like that when he goes,
yeah,
how am I
Right.
gonna be
Because-
like that
and
when?
have kids,
right, and,
yeah.
and an animal's only alive for 8-10 years.
Right.
But when people say that, I was like, oh, well, then you never had anybody close to you die.
Right.
Because then that would never be anything
Right.
you ever fucking said in your life.
right.
Because that
Right.
makes no fucking sense. Yeah, everybody loves dogs, but like, then you never had anyone close to you die.
Right.
Because it's not even fucking
Yeah, it's the
comparable.
worst.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Because I'll kill every dog in the fucking world, like to save a
human,
kid,
yeah,
your wife,
yeah.
your
Right.
dad, your mom.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll go shoot a dog in the head right fucking now.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
eat it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Alive.
And I love dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
But like when people say that shit, you're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Dan, number one.
Like
oh, sorry.
I didn't even put that on my list because I don't even like thinking about
Right.
that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I can't even imagine when my parents die, like how
Right.
I'm gonna respond. you
Right.
know?
Anything. How about the movie? You guys ever see the movie The Box?
No.
Yeah.
You're all about movies.
That was on Pornhub, right?
No,
Wrong movie.
Cameron Diaz.
Wrong movie. Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
So a guy approaches the door. Rye, help me out if I fuck this up. I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, she has to hold the box the whole time,
Oh,
and it blows
Look
up.
at-
Can't drop it.
so he
I
comes
wanna see
in.
this.
Bert, you see this movie? It's fucking wild. Go to the dude who delivers the box.
Isn't it?
Go to the dude who delivers the box. Wait till you see his face. So he delivers the box. He says, if you push this button, you'll get $1 million.
Oh yeah.
All your problems will, but somebody in the world has to die.
Yeah.
Would you push-
somebody somewhere?
No.
will.
Somebody somewhere will die.
Did you
Nope.
see? There's a
Now, here's the thing. We say that now because we're not balling, but like, I'm okay. I'm not poor. I'm like I said, I have $200 in my, but I have shit.
right.
I'm not poor where I'm sleeping
But
in a
don't you
dumpster.
think like
Somewhere in the world, there's 350. Just say the U.S. There's 350 million people in the world. We just said the government.
What's the
would do it to
chances
us.
that you know that one person that's gonna die?
But
Right.
the
Some
obviously,
guy in Arkansas dies.
And
obviously,
okay.
the
and what
point
if
of
it's
this,
like a pedophile? You're like, all right,
yeah,
I win.
Yeah, you might have
know?
a good chance. But
Right.
what if it's your fucking wife?
Ooh.
What if
So
it's
you
your
don't
fucking
know
brother?
who is gonna die?
And did you ever see that? There's a parody of it, which is super funny. But a guy sits down with a box across somebody else, and he's like, "If you press this button, somebody somewhere will die." And he presses the button. He's like, no. Wait for it. And he's like, "If you press this button, somebody somewhere will die." And he presses it again. Like, stop. Wait until I finish the sentence. He was like, "Somebody will die, but you'll also get $1 million." And he presses it again.
That's great.
But like a situation like that, and of course they push it because I think they're like financial trouble or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But next thing you know, it's his fucking kid, his
I
son or something.
I don't know.
Spoiler.
The movie what's that? 08? Fuck off. Go fucking fuck off. I don't care.
Oh shit. All right, my number one top 5 fear of 2019 is living a life with no meaning.
Ooh,
So-
that was my number 7. Like not living up to your potential.
So I don't know. I had this.
See, that's what's so good about this. Everything can roll into
My
it.
Yeah.
my coach in,
This is
in
now my number
college. my coach in college came up to me. He's like, "There's 2 most important days of your life: the day you're born and the day you figure out
realize
why."
you're here, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I still haven't figured out why. You know, like I don't know why.
Then
I'm
you
here.
figure out why
You're
You're-
on this earth.
Why
Like
you
your
were born.
purpose.
Your
Like
purpose.
what-
Your-
right.
I agree
Yeah.
with the second. The day you're born doesn't mean shit, really.
No, it doesn't. But it's
It does to
it's
your
a
mom.
saying. It's a saying.
you go.
Right.
You know.
I know it's a saying, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying number 2 makes sense. But number 2 or number 1 is like, who gives a fuck when I was
But
born?
it's an important day because if you're never
You're
born,
on the earth,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what puts you here.
it's-
So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I wasn't born to fucking cut grass and
yeah.
do.
And you might not
drugs
figure that out till later.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but there's also shit that goes into that too. Like, not everybody's
Right.
fucking Gandhi. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
I
don't have
know.
to change the world.
no,
Right.
I know for a fact I'm never going to change the world. I'm a fucking idiot.
But you can change yourself.
See what I mean?
Right. But hey, I'm not saying
All
it's
you have
going
to
to
do is
be
find your why.
anything big.
Shout out to Maria.
Maybe I was born to be a dad or to
Right.
be a husband or something like that.
Right,
But
doesn't
I'm
have to be
just saying
career-wise.
I haven't found it yet, and
Yeah.
it scares me. What
No,
if
but I get that.
don't find it?
I love that though. Find why you.
I
said
love
that-
you.
I'll tell
I
you.
love you. I said that to Chelsea.
I'll tell you why we're
I said
here.
that to Chelsea and Vales. I said I know you were born to be a mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Aw,
I'll tell you.
did?
I'll tell you why we're here. To make this podcast.
I guess to entertain the 11 people listening.
Shit.
Is that your number 1 too, Ev?
It can be because I'm kind of. I don't
Do
know.
you have another one, or
No, I like that
you
though.
don't write anything down?
But like I don't.
He's looking at a
Literally
blank
nothing.
piece of paper. He's like, let me check.
Let me
me
hear,
double
let me
check.
hear your number 1 first, and I'll see if that's
Well,
what I'm on.
mine was death to others as well.
Oh, was
That's
that
why
your
I rolled
one?
it in.
Yeah, that was my
No.
number 1.
Yeah, and my number 1 was death to others. I rolled it
What
in
was
with
your
Lars.
one?
For mine.
No, I
Remember I
like
said
that.
we're
That's
gonna
No.
something
roll
happened to
in?
my kids or mine.
But like I always said, like mine wasn't in the order anyway. But like, yeah, not knowing your meaning on this earth, I don't know, because sometimes it's weird. Like you're like, all right, am I making the right decision? See, you know what kind of bothers me too? Like a decision that affects everybody. So you're just like, am I doing the? Because a lot of times like shit just happens, and you're just like, okay, that's just me. But like everything affects a lot of other people too. I'm like, I hope I'm not fucking over other people. Like I worry about fucking over other people. But like, I'm gonna go with my number 1. What Dan said. Like
Okay.
Not living to your potential too. I
Yeah.
think.
Well,
Kinda,
one of the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
quotes
yeah,
ever
definitely.
is
I had that too.
Robert De Niro in A Bronx Tale. The biggest waste in the world is a waste of talent.
Yeah,
So you're just like, I would hate
Not
for
living
somebody.
But you got no talent.
No, I sure don't.
not living up to your,
Yeah.
potential. Or
Right now, living up to your. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can go off other than what you said, but yeah, that's just fucking scary. Imagine just being just a complete mush and just being like,
right.
So let's go.
How about
five-
this? How about this?
Let's go 5 to
How about
1.
this? I'll give you a little. Are we getting close on time?
I mean, we're like 2:10 right now.
Oh shit! So it doesn't even matter. But like, how about if you go to the gates of whatever you believe in? Say you go to the gates of heaven or wherever, and you go up to the gatekeeper, and you have a chance in being like, can I see the video of what I was supposed to be, and can I see the video of what I actually did? And he
Whoa.
shows you like a video of what you were supposed or what you could have been,
Could have been. Yeah.
and you're just like, oh.
I
So
blew
you're
it.
so you're in
I-
hell, is what you're saying.
I fucking blew this.
That sounds
so
terrible.
bad.
Wow.
No, I would be like,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't want
Like
to see that
walking
movie.
up to the gatekeeper, you're like, I need.
You would need the keymaster
can
first,
you,
obviously.
Can you show me what I could have been, and can you show me what I was? and he shows you what you were, and you're just like, oh, you know, that's a pretty decent life, you know, blah, blah. And then he showed you what you could have been, like your actual potential or your talent, and you're just like,
if you would have made a couple different choices.
And you're just like, oh my God, if I would have just put a little more effort into this or that, or if I tried that, you're just like, oh no.
How disappointing. I hope that
That's
doesn't
what I'm saying.
happen.
That would be hell.
So disappointing.
But that's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the whole thing. You
would
don't
not be peace
don't ever
at all.
So let's do 5. Let's run through.
Oh, baby girl. Chelsea, we're just about to finish up. We're going through our top 5 fears.
We're running through 5 to 1 right now.
We're going through 5 through 1 now.
Laura?
You missed a good one. You'll like it.
5 was not being prepared. Specifically natural disaster, but just not being prepared.
Keep going.
Oh.
Do all this.
4 was fear of uncertainty or unknown. Fear of uncontrollable event that negatively affects your life.
Right. As in like cancer.
Yeah, just accidental driving and hitting somebody and you're in jail.
Oh,
number 2, kids getting into the wrong crowd or drugs. And number 1, something happening to the kids or Mike.
Absolutely.
Top 5.
What do you hear this?
Number 5, quicksand. Number 4, getting eaten by a shark. Number 3, death. Number 2, the dark. And number 1, living a life with no meaning.
My number 5 was the ocean. My number 4 is extreme pain. My number 3 is full-on identity theft. Number 2 is technological collapse. And number 1 is the death of others.
My number 5 was not having kids, but kids in general, as in like
all it comes
having
with.
to be responsible and what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like not in the fact of like I'm not. Obviously I'm gonna be able to raise them, but like
I mean you explained it before.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea's here now looking at me, so I don't want her to be like, oh, kids, you don't want to have.
Oh,
kids
you
now?
can't be a fucking dad?
Yeah. Huh? But like just in general, like being responsible for everybody else. What was my 4? Oh, hitting someone by texting. Well, that's what it's written down. But like just in general, like texting and driving, I do that often, and it's just like scary. The whole which kind of rolls into my 3rd, which is like, what did you say for your thing? Well, mine was prison.
Uncontrollable event.
Uncontrollable events that can really fuck your shit up. So like like I said, like punching someone in the face not by accident, but hitting them, and all of a sudden they die. Like I lived a great life, and then all of a sudden I'm in jail for one mistake out of nowhere. My number 2 was, what did you say?
Was that the Purge one?
Oh, yeah, number 2 is the Purge.
Human versus human.
Human versus human, because once the grid goes down, you don't have to worry about trying to survive and eat and shit. You'll figure that out. It's humans who are going to start bothering you, and shit like that's going to get weird. And my number 1 was yours, Dan.
No meaning. Living life, no meaning.
Not living up to your potential.
Yeah.
Chelsea, listen to this real quick before we go. What if you were to go to whatever you believe into, like the gates of heaven, or just say that because that's the most common thing, whatever. And the gatekeeper's there, whoever it is, and you go up to him and you say, can I have like a little clip of my life and how I did? And then he shows you a clip of what you could have been. Like
That'd be fun, right?
Like you didn't live up to your potential.
That'd be real cool, huh?
Unless it was less than what you.
But unless you did better than what you were,
and you were like, okay.
No, but I'm saying like, say you had a great life, and then he's like, oh,
but
you
he said could have what I could have been.
But he said no, you did a great job. So like, if you had a good life, you had a good life.
Oh,
but, like,
right.
What if you're like,
that'd be better,
but like, what if you're saying like you kind of half-assed life, and then he showed you, like you and like, yo, you had so much potential. This is what you could have been.
You could have saved the world.
And he showed you something like you could have did this. You could have helped so many people. You could have.
Remember cancer? Remember cancer? No one would have remembered it because you would have fixed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have said hi to that, or did that one thing, and it could have changed whatever. I don't fucking.
If you said hi to Adolf, he wouldn't have killed all those people.
Yeah, right. Now he's in Argentina on the beach.
Yeah. All right. I know all my fans from my last time I was on this podcast. Remember. Guess that chip flavor.
Oh, we're gonna end with guess. Before tea time, we're gonna do.
You guys.
We're gonna do guess that chip. This is when we do a blind taste testing of Dan's bags of chips. Because Dan always has chips on
a bag of chips,
and Dan always buys the most extravagant chips.
Sorry, not that big.
Take a little sniff.
You guys should get this right away.
So, everybody. Oh, it's a Ruffle, which I already like.
It's poop.
Man, I'm getting another sour cream and onion.
I was just gonna say that. That was more so than the last one. I remember last one. I tasted some kind of.
It's very sour cream and cheddar-ish.
Wrong again.
Wait. There's some type of cheese
not
finish,
like a standard
but it's not
flavor usually. Right?
Oh,
No,
all right.
no,
So
no.
It's never a standard flavor.
Okay.
Give me another one.
definitely.
Sour. There's some type of cheddar.
Like the last one was like mozzarella sticks or something like that was a flavor. So
Where are you getting these chips?
Wawa, 7-Eleven, your family convenience store.
Taste it, Chelsea.
I have a Skittle in my mouth.
Perfect.
I mean, it's tough, but I can tell what it is.
Some type of
'Cause you
cheddar.
Oh yeah.
I seen it, and I'm so happy I didn't eat it.
Really?
Really? I think it's good.
Provolone.
Sour cream.
no, I was gonna say
Chives.
like maybe like a little bit of.
Dill.
No, there's no dill.
Was it a pickle?
Dill pickle. Chelsea
Really?
Jordan.
No.
She saw the
Really?
bag. She
Who
saw
made
the
that?
bag. That's bullshit. She saw the bag.
Hey, guess what?
Ooh.
Hers, you suck because that's
I don't
not dill.
taste the pickle
Dill's
at all.
dill's salty and
I
like.
taste more of a dill than I do.
No, that's sour cream and like.
Yeah, I taste definitely sour
She
cream.
saw it. It's
No.
okay, guys.
And why is there a dude
We would've
rapping
got
on the
it.
front of it?
It is called
All right,
creamy
guys.
pickle. All right.
We love yous. Thank yous. This is our first part Dukes and do.
I think it's do.
Yeah, whatever.
Do.
Thank you everybody who listens. We had fun doing this. It got a little serious. I tried to keep it light because whatever. And Laura, thanks for coming. Dan, thanks for coming. You guys
Thanks
are
for
always
having
welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Rye, I'll see you.
Shout out to Bert for the video.
Bert and his cardigan. We're gonna have 3 videos up. We're gonna hit you guys bang, 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 bang. Hatchet. We were a little behind. We're new at this, guys. We're still new. We're only 26 episodes in.
Something like
27
that.
episodes in. So we're all new. We love you guys. Thanks for listening, everybody. Check us out on Instagram Live. We'll be doing that more, just for shits and giggies.
All right.
And
I already started drinking.
I love
Bye.
yous.
Tee it out.
Over and out.
Over and out.